my goodness. It's like giving everybody a bouquet of roses every day. Well, we could use some roses here at EST. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Hope you're having a great, Tuesday afternoon. The Oilers had sort of divided the forwards and D into separate groups today for their practice at Rogers Place. Derek Ryan, illness, not on the ice. And Kasperi Kapanen missed practice as well to take care of some visa passport issues. We will have extensive Oilers discussion today, probably one that many of you will want to hop into, but we'll tell you exactly what we're going to do there in a few minutes. The Calgary Stampeders now have Vernon Adams Jr. as their quarterback. They got him in a trade today with the British Columbia Lions. Jay hates when you use the full.
I don't hate it.
Well, it's not the name of the team.
It's just not what Canadians would say.
The Lions get a second and fourth round pick in this year's draft from Calgary, as well as the Stampeders' second round pick in 2026. BC also giving a 2025 fourth rounder and a 2026 third rounder. So the only player involved in the deal is Vernon Adams Jr. So this, we kind of thought that he probably was not going to stay in BC, as they are committed to Canadian quarterback Nathan Rourke, who returned from the NFL to BC this season. Didn't play great, but I think he's their guy moving forward. And it also means you can rule out Vernon Adams Jr. coming to Edmonton to play for the Elks. Jay, you said to me, I have thoughts on this.
Well,
I would like to hear them.
This now sets into motion, I think, what most Elks fans were hoping in the return of Trey Ford, and I guess you can't crown him as your number one quarterback. I don't think that's good for anybody. But it would appear as though the Elks are committed to Trey Ford. Vernon Adams was, although Matthew Iwanek would disagree with me, he believes Cody Fajardo was still a name that's out there as far as available quarterbacks. But right. I think Cody Fajardo coming in would be the same as having McLeod Bethel Thompson here. An older quarterback. When you have somebody that, if worked with, if an offense built around, and Trey Ford could potentially develop to be that quarterback that could take this team on a little bit of a run. So having Vernon Adams out of the picture, I think for Marty and the Trey Ford Club fandom, I think this is a good day for them.
But I still think that, again, we don't really know how good Trey Ford can be.
We don't. That's the problem.
And when I say that, I mean I don't know how good he can be. I mean we don't know if maybe he's played as well as he can ever play.
Or was he
that mismanaged under Jones?
Yeah. Was the structure there for him to succeed?
Yeah.
Was the locker room there for him to succeed? Coming into last year's training camp, McLeod Bethel Thompson was declared the starter.
Right.
At the start of camp. That's not going to happen anymore. At least that's what Ed Hervey said in his press conference. I just think that this gives... If you're Trey Ford, you're sitting back there saying, okay, this team, this organization is now putting the faith in me that I feel I've deserved. Now it's time for me to go prove what I can do on the field, which, for those of you that have been listening for all 58 shows, thanks, Rob from the Grove, you know that Reid and I are both not sold on Trey Ford.
Well, here's what I think. I'm going to come at this from a different angle, and I hate to say this, I'm going to come at it from not so optimistic an angle, or perhaps not so positive an angle when it comes to the future of Trey Ford as an Elk. I know Ed Hervey spoke generally positively about Ford, more so in the interview he did with you and Matt than he did in his comments at the podium. Not that he was negative at the podium, but he did say in both of those he needs to talk to Trey Ford. What else did Ed Hervey say several times throughout his news conference? If you don't want to be here, there are 8 other teams. I'll find you one to play for. I think if somebody asked us yesterday what kind of questions do coaches get asked in a job interview, I think basically Ed Hervey wants to interview Trey Ford. And he might even ask him, do you want to be an Edmonton Elk? How bad do you want to be an Edmonton Elk? And if he senses the answer isn't fully on 100%, come on, do you think Ed's going to keep him around to see if he can do it? I don't know. I don't know if he would.
Counterpoint.
Yes, please.
he has also seen what has been happening with this organization. He's seen it unfold right in front of his eyes. Now sees a president that I'm sure he's getting nothing but glowing reports about. A general manager who now wants to build this up and have his foundation, which in that for that team, for any CFL team, is your quarterback. You only go as far as your quarterback. I believe that Ed Hervey wants to make Tre Ford that guy with a better structure, with a better play calling system around him, to limit his weaknesses and accentuate, what are his strengths, which is running, breaking down defenses, and that's why you see Trey with those dynamic, creative, wow plays. Well, they can run an offense around that, but this is down the road, but he'll have to protect himself better.
I just think they're going to bring in another quarterback, and they're probably going to bring in another quarterback who has more CFL playing experience than Ford.
They should.
Does that not make that player the de facto starter, even if they say there's still a competition in camp?
Well, there's no starter right now. That's what we know. There's no starting quarterback.
There's no starter right now. But I think Fajardo's name is still out there. I think Bo Levi Mitchell's name is still out there.
Sure.
To raise a couple.
Well, you know what, Reid? Find me most CFL teams will go through both quarterbacks in the season.
Yes. Well, it's happening a lot in the NFL now, too.
Right?
That guys don't play all 17 or 18 games.
The quarterback position, as I just said, is the most important position. So bring in Bo Levi. Bring in Cody Fajardo. And, hey, let's duke it out. Let's see who's best. Who fits this system best, right? If Cody Fajardo was brought in and he won out the starting job and he's winning games for this team, nobody's saying boo.
Right.
Right? But at the same time, when are you going to take the training wheels off Tre Ford and just give him the reins? Say, here you go. I'll never stop saying that they completely screwed up that rematch against Winnipeg after he laid an egg at home and they gave the ball to McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
Yeah, I would have put him back out there again.
You
had to get more info. I mean, I know they were still alive for the playoffs at that point, but it was dwindling. Find out what you have in the player.
Find out if you got a gamer in you. You're going to find out in a game like that.
Right. All right. We will talk about that on and off throughout the afternoon. You are invited to participate in that discussion and others. And we, again, are pretty confident we have some discussion topics that we think you're going to want to jump into. In the EST inbox, it's 780-218-9999. If you're in the nasty chat on YouTube, also please give us a thumbs up as we continue to strive to get to at least 100 thumbs every day. We've been doing pretty good at that. Email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Remember, you can get the show on edmontonsportstalk.com, on iHeartRadio app, on the TuneIn app, and encourage other people who you think would be interested in this show to stream the show through those means or wherever you get your podcasts as well, as we continue to try to build up EST. And it's very, very fun doing so. I guess I'm going to tease our Oilers topic, Jay, because I think maybe people can do this on their own and then get their own evaluations ready. So Jay and I are kind of going to do quarter of the season. I know it's 22 games, just a bit past. We're going to do our quarter of the season player grades, but we're going to do it a little differently. We're not going to give out A, B, C, or D or go excellent, fair, or poor. There are 20 players you can evaluate because we are going to exclude Kapanen, Philp, Kajula, Josh Brown, and Dermott because they haven't played a lot. So that leaves 18 skaters and 2 goalies. Jay and I have done our own list. We have not shared them. We have grouped them into 4 tiers of 5 players each. So that the assignment is you have to put 5 players into each tier. So the 5 best players so far this season, then the next 5, then the third 5, and then the bottom 5. I sort of did mine based on performance versus expectation. Jay will get into his methodology a little bit later on. You can do it however you like. Explain kind of. I think most people will kind of do it how I did it.
Mine's more of the eye test.
All right. Yeah.
But there is some expectation versus reality mixed in.
Right. So that's how we want to do it. Don't say, "Oh, this guy's an A- and this guy's a C+." 4 groups of 5: the top 5, the second 5, the third 5, and the fourth 5, and send it to us. Okay. Either text, nasty chat. This might be better to email too if you have access to your email. Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Okay.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Just before we move on from
Before we get
the
to
VA, the VA signing. This is an interesting question. It comes in from Calvin C. Does this mean Ford is going to get paid more with more leverage now that VA is off the board?
No.
And I
He's
agree
got a
with
year
you,
left,
Reid.
right?
Well, and here's the thing. Well, no. Trey Ford is listed as a free agent.
Oh, is he an upcoming free agent?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
The only one that I could see would be Daggy, but
I don't know if he'll be back.
yeah. Anyways, here's the thing. Trey Ford's going to get paid what he's worth. It doesn't matter. There's not a lineup of people around the building that are lining up to sign Trey Ford as a free agent because he has not proven anything yet. There's the understanding and belief in Edmonton that there is something there that can blossom and turn into this wonderful quarterback. But when you're looking at it from other teams' perspectives, there's nothing. They just look at numbers, and the numbers would show that he's an adequate quarterback. He's not legendary. He's not going to drive the price up.
Right.
Certainly. So I would say that the VA signing doesn't really change much.
Okay. All right. So we have, before we get, well, this is to set up the off-topic topic. Zach Kubish is our sports update deliverer and our technical producer here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Koob, can you describe to everybody the sense that you experienced today, the sensory experience that you had today, and the sleuthing that you did, and what now the situation is on the second floor in this building?
Well, I was truly scared and frightened when I decided to go to the bathroom during one of these breaks on EST afternoons here. And I've noticed a certain smell in this building, and I've tried to speak with you guys, people around the office, Maddie, everyone here, about a certain smell. It's not a welcoming really kind of smell, but my nose was kind of very similar to a pie on a windowsill in a cartoon. I was kind of tracking down this smell, and I couldn't put my finger or nose on what it was. And I go into one of the bathrooms that we have here. We have two of them. And the scent gets a lot more powerful, and I walk into the bathroom, trying to go do my thing, have a quick break, and I look into the toilet, and there's this present.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Inside, and not a very good smell, not a very good sight. Somebody left a present, and it wasn't me.
And this present may have been there for perhaps more than a day.
Definitely more than a day.
Definitely more than a day.
The entire week,
this
maybe
present does not
leading last
exist
week.
in its initial form. It's aged a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like Mr. Hanky.
Not that you touched it, but your visual inspection.
No.
Did you
and
investigate
the nasal sensation?
the quality of the specimen?
I might have. Yeah. Now I looked at it for a second. I went to go kind of extinguish it, let it be, and flush the
will
toilet,
not
let it run
flush.
away, and it did not flush.
Oh,
Now
no.
we've since
no
learned
plunger.
that toilet may be plugged by paper towels
I think
from
so.
somebody else who has been in there.
Could
So-
be a sandwich-like
So
situation.
we got an issue here. We got a stench issue. So this leads us into, oh my goodness. This leads us into our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install, all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. We would like to know your most uncomfortable / disgusting incident at the workplace. Now, we want to clarify this assignment. We are not including injuries. Okay, we're not including someone cut their finger and there was blood everywhere, because that's not really the spirit of this. We're looking for incidents involving stenches, body odor, things that have come out of the body, things that have been left behind, so to speak, like the incident we have here, not disposed of properly. Maybe, a colleague who has shown up to work unknowingly or unwittingly with a certain odor or condition to their clothing that needed to be brought up or something like that. So the most uncomfortable / disgusting incident you've experienced at your workplace. And, of course, how it was handled. I mean, that's really the stories here. It's one thing to say, I used to work with this guy named Jason Milne, and his body odor was one week got so bad, we had to draw straws amongst the other EST workers to see who would tell him or try to find out if his, water had stopped running or he'd run out of deodorant or something like that. Also, how it was handled. We're telling you as honestly as we can how we're trying to handle this.
Minute by minute.
Minute by minute.
That's the model here. Thoughts and prayers go out to you, Zach, for your nasal passages, what you saw in there. I know that must have been difficult. So the nasties are behind you. If you want to pass it along to Zach, do it in the form of a thumbs up. He would appreciate it.
I would greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
It was a needed sacrifice, and I did save a life today. I prevented somebody else from stumbling upon the gift.
Who probably assumed it's your gift.
Yeah, that's
we haven't. We actually have not ruled you out as the gift giver.
You're in fact, you might be number one on the list right now.
You might be patient 0. You might be gift giver 0. So anyway, that's our off-topic topic. The most disgusting / uncomfortable incident at your workplace. Again, not injuries, stench, or other things related.
I'll just kick it off. I mean, the office.
You have one?
This happens sometimes. It's happened back in my bartending days. You get the person with the bad breath. Bad breath person is just it's brutal. They tend to be extremely close talkers as well,
right?
For some reason. And it's just deplorable. It's terrible, and I don't know. Like, what do you do? What do you offer them? You offer them gum, I guess.
Gum lying around, yeah.
But bad breath person is absolutely
that's
it's
tough.
Up there.
Yeah, that's
it's
tough.
Up there.
That's a tough one to know how to handle for sure. 780-218-9999. Email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. Jump into the nasty chat, or as I like to call it sometimes, the diabolical dialogue on YouTube. So we're going to get to our Oilers evaluation later on in the show. We got Damon Bunting from Damon Bunting Real Estate in studio today for his buying or selling. And this is going to be fun as well. We got a local football legend who has now joined the Edmonton Elks organization as an amateur football ambassador. That's a pretty positive story, too. We got the smeller of all things left behind, Zachary Kubish, with a sports update.
On a 2-game slate, the Canadians going at it with the hockey club and the Canucks having puck drop against the Bruins. Elsewhere, Timo Meier of the Devils will serve a 1-game suspension after delivering a cross-check to the face of Nashville's Zachary Leroux last night. And there's been a trade in the CFL which sees Vernon Adams Jr. moving from the Lions to the Stampeders in exchange for a 2nd and 4th rounder for this year's draft, as well as a 2nd round pick in 2026. Along with Adams being dealt in the deal to Calgary, the Lions sent a 2025 4th round selection and a 2026 3rd rounder the other way. There's 5 games in NBA Cup group stage action, which sees the Bucks tipping off with the Heat and the Rockets matching up with the Timberwolves. This sports update has been brought to you by Wheeler's RV and Boat Storage. Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV is your safe and secure place to store your RV, boat, or whatever it is you want to store. Visit them at wheelersrvstorage.com to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 free. Go to wheelersrvstorage.com today and get your storage needs taken care of. The Reid Wilkins Show returns just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for two, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
You know, this year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
The James H. Brown Studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com is the website. Book your private consultation today, along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins, Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. I always enjoy your Instagram, Jay. You can be quite active on it at times, usually when you get cooking. So, and last night you had several delicious posts.
I love
what was going on.
Baking. I love baking and cooking. I've wanted for a long time to find a good recipe. There's Damon Bunting himself.
Hello, Damon.
A good recipe for pretzels. You know, warm, soft, German style pretzels, and I found it. And so my daughter and I and my mother-in-law, we went at it. You know, it was a simple dough recipe. Very simple. Straightforward. But the trick is that you had to boil the pretzels first.
Okay, so you shape them?
You shape them, and then you drop them into boiling water with baking soda.
Okay.
Baking soda infused boiling water. Drop them in for 20 seconds. That's it. Pull them out, put them on your baking tray, crack your salt, and you're good to go. But the texture, oh, man. It was incredible. I was...
so then, so after you boiled them...
Yeah.
Then where did they...
Put them on the tray, on the cookie tray.
A regular tray?
And then you bake them at 400 for 15 minutes. You know those fancy pretzel places you find at the malls? You know, and they smell so beautiful.
Well, Zwick's pretzels on 124th, just off 107.
Are they soft pretzels? Like a German soft pretzel?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. This was the taste, this was the texture, and we did it all at home. So it was fantastic. I highly recommend it. I can post the recipe to my Twitter.
I remember years and years ago, like probably I was living in Lloydminster, I made bagels.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember I think I had to boil them first. And then I don't know if they went in a bread machine or I baked them. They were okay. They turned out okay.
Did you boil them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember they required some boiling. But yeah, they weren't like they were edible. I ate them. I probably made a half dozen or so. But yeah, pretzels. That sounds pretty good.
They were.
Do you bake every day?
No. when I'm at like weekends, Saturday, Sunday, I cook both nights.
You make supper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you often have something from the smoker or a glazed rib.
I love doing
or
it.
some sort of barbecue sauce, perhaps. Or
I love trying new things as well.
Right.
Get out of
and
your
do the
comfort
kids
zone.
do this with you?
As much as possible.
They like helping dad?
Yeah. My youngest, Faith, was my right-hand girl last night.
Good.
She formed those pretzels with her little hands. Perfect.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So awesome.
That's good. That's good for them because I really like cooking. I don't do it as much as I used to, so probably my skills have declined. But it's very comfortable. I think it's very important to be comfortable in the kitchen. Like when I was in junior high, I don't know if it was like for you. You could take shop or industrial arts, whatever it was called, or home ec.
Home ec, yeah.
I took home ec because I'm very clumsy with things that could cut or break my fingers. And I also thought eating is something I will need to do every day. I may not need to construct a shelf or do something every day. So somewhat to my detriment because I'm not very handy with stuff like that. As I've told you, though, my dad is incredibly handy. So I've learned a little bit from him that I can do, I think, some basic stuff. But it always, again, it's my personal bias and my personal experience. But when someone says to me, I can't cook, I'm always a little surprised. And then me being me, I always want them to clarify, okay, what do you mean you can't cook? Like, can you open a can of soup and put it in a pot on the stove, if you wanted some chicken noodle soup? That's at least you can do something in the kitchen. Can you make pasta and some sort of a simple sauce? Like that would what I would say, especially to look, I hope this doesn't sound like sexist, but I do think there is still a bit of a gender thing that for some reason guys think it's not important for them to cook. And I'm like, no, it isn't. Or I'm like, no, yeah, it is actually. You should. You're going to live on your own or you're going to be by yourself. Like, you should be able to boil pasta and make some sort of a sauce you like. Open a can of tomato sauce, season it, put some cream in or whatever. You should be able to do that, I would think. And that's not hard. That's not complex cooking.
Well, for me, it's a thing I get to do with my daughters, too. So they get involved. They can help. And I just like it. I've always loved entertaining or, making the meal for others. I've just been, I like that. So, and you know what you're putting in it too. You see exactly what the ingredients are.
Right.
You know what you're eating. Like I make granola bars for the girls.
And then once you do it, the fear, quote unquote, or the hesitation starts to go away.
Right. And then you find that yes, you can cook, you just haven't tried.
Right. Or you're better than you think, or you can make something.
Oh yeah.
Again, learn a simple pasta dish, learn how to season something, or
it's not hard. You just need to try.
Yes. So anyway, that's cool. You did that. I enjoy seeing your posts.
You know what? I won't be baking tonight though.
Why not?
Why not? Because I'm going to be gunning for you.
God.
I'm going to be hunting you down,
I was
Reid.
so happy not having to think about it because I don't know if I'm going to do it or not.
You have to.
There's another poker tournament. I don't have to.
Yes, you
do. I do not have to.
Yes,
I do not have to. I do not have to. I do not have to.
I think you have
I
to.
proclaim I do not have to.
Look, I don't know why you wouldn't. We've talked about this. We've talked about your method of play tonight. It's going to be different than it was last game. Who else is in the tournament tonight?
I got Lego to build. I don't even know if I have it.
You do.
I don't even have a link. How do I get in? I'm not in. I don't have it in.
Yeah, you do.
How do I get in? Okay, I'll go to Cool Bet. Cool Whip.
Cool Bet.
Log in.
I think Penner's
there's
Pancakes
nothing
is
here.
usually
There's
there.
nothing here. There's nothing here, Jay. What do I do?
See,
Poker. There's no thing to be anywhere. There's no thing to be anywhere. By the way, the off-topic topic, 780-218-9999. Most disgusting or uncomfortable incident ever in your workplace. We're talking not an injury, not someone bleeding. We're talking stenches, bodily functions, excretions, things like that.
So you don't have a ticket ready there for you? I'll look at it at the break.
No, do you?
Yeah.
I got to sneeze. I got. See, I'm allergic to the poker. How long did I last time? Was it 19 minutes, 21 minutes? It was something like that.
Yeah, yours was quick. You were...
Pender's Pancakes wants me in. Rob from the Grove says, I love cooking, was always scared to bake because you need to follow recipes. Started to make bread in a Dutch oven. It's super easy and so good. That's cool. KD says, I make dinner for my wife every day. Used to hate it, but now I love it. TikTok recipes for the win. Oh, that's pretty cool. Does KD make KD? I would like to know that. That is in the nasty chat on YouTube. All right. We don't know if I'm in the poker tournament or not. I went in the last poker tournament. The summary of how I feel. Oh, wait, I got some notifications here by a little rocket. Welcome bonus, points missions, KO mission. Yeah, I'm not doing any of those. I just found it was hard for me to get engaged because, as I was saying, and Dusty agreed with me. We've seen Dustin 2 days in a row in person, by the way.
Things are going good.
And he admitted this. A lot of it is just folding almost all the time and being incredibly patient. Now, I don't have a trouble with patience.
That's what I said too.
But I'm not doing anything. You're not like
put on a movie and watch
can play,
it.
But then you still got to watch your hand and stuff.
Okay, hang on. Tonight, because last time Dustin was sick, so he didn't do the live stream.
Okay.
He's doing the live stream tonight as well, so you can watch his hand as well. And he provides commentary. He's Dusty. He's making you crack up. I think your experience tonight will be different.
So I have to play my table and watch his table?
You can listen. You can just have another...
Oh, my God.
YouTube. Reid, what are you, like 85?
It's not age-related. It's personality and interest-related.
Well, then why don't you get a Lego kit and build it while you're doing the poker tournament?
Because I only build Lego with my dad. Last night we built the boulder from the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was fun. It actually comes down on a little lever.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
I was going to bring in my Lego bus.
So it's a lot of patience and doing nothing to hope to get lucky. By the way, the Lotto Max is $80 million tonight. Spency 5 cents. He says the live stream is gold. I do agree. Dustin
have a
Dustin
better
is gold.
chance of winning the poker that than you do the poker tournament.
Yes, I have zero chance of winning the poker tournament. Well, not zero. How many people were in it? Like 56 or something like that?
Yeah, it usually fills out during the day here. People get involved. So if you are, get registered. If you're planning on it, get registered. Myself is going to be in there. Reid's going to be playing.
I don't even
Tommy's
have a ticket.
Be
I don't
playing.
have a ticket. Oh, is Tom in it?
Yeah, and his dad, Reno.
Well, Reno's good at it. Isn't he a pro?
Yeah, I beat him last game. No big deal.
But he's gone to the WSOP, has he not?
I think
or
something like that.
WSOP, as I call it. World Series of Poker.
What's up?
That's what they call it. What's up? I'm in the WSOP. Well, we'll see. I don't have a ticket to get in. I would have trouble multitasking. I don't know who's playing tonight in hockey. There's only a couple games. Should have been listening to this. They'll be over by 8 o'clock. Oh, Utah's playing. That's the Oilers' next game on Friday. I don't begrudge other people being interested in it. I get why it could be interesting. I just don't know if it works for me.
Well, you can only find out. I mean, you've only done it once, so you cannot make a clear and concise...
And I made an incredibly stupid bet, which I knew I was doing at the time.
Well, then don't make incredibly stupid bets tonight.
Well...
I mean, everything you're saying is... You might as well be looking in front of a mirror right now. That's all you have to blame.
What do you mean?
Yourself.
For what? I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, you're a little whiny about it.
Well, it's because I'm trying to be pressured into it.
Look, I think you should give it a second shot. With the live stream happening, it's a totally different dynamic.
Am I going to know how to find the live stream?
Well, if you can find the YouTube page for Edmonton Sports Talk, then you can find the live stream.
Well, I can find the YouTube page.
It's off of our channel. And Dustin does a great job.
Oh, okay. Well, I will...
And people are like the Nasties are chatting throughout it, too. So you can chat with the Nasties while the tournament's going.
That just seems like a lot to do when I'm trying to focus on my cards.
It is, but let's say you bow out. And you're in that, you get 3 or 4 hands in a row that stink, and you got to fold them.
And I'm folding. Yeah.
Then that's where boredom would seep
El Foldo.
Yeah, El Foldo. Then hop over to the nasty chat. Maybe anybody else get any cards?
Oh.
Has anybody else had 5-2 offsuit the last 3 hands in a row?
Is it ace 1 or 11? Because I just had 2 of them and I folded because I thought I only had 2. I tried to split them and it didn't work. All right.
Reid, we are getting some stories coming in.
Let's get one in. Can we get one in right now?
Okay, I just because I saw it last, but I've seen several.
These are your disgusting / uncomfortable incidents in the workplace.
This one comes in from Corey B. I work in a heavy-duty equipment shop. One day, an operator ended up shitting his pants while operating equipment. Someone had to bring the unit into the shop and replace the seat. God.
My goodness.
I'm glad I wasn't the mechanic. He had to go in a full hazmat suit, and he got the rest of the day off after that. Oh, my gosh.
KD in the Nasty Chat has changed their picture to the Kraft Dinner logo.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
Now, okay. Oh, wow. I mean, let's talk about Kraft Dinner because we now eat this Annie's stuff. Apparently, it's lower sodium / salt content. Who knows?
Is it good?
But I find it funny because KD said that he really likes the white cheddar, but can't go wrong with the original. My daughters love the white cheddar. I was always in an original, orange colored cheddar. Right?
For KD.
Kraft Dinner when you were eating it and I was eating it as little gaffers. There was only one box in one kind of Kraft Dinner, and that was orange.
Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Everywhere there's game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. I want to ask Damon Bunting his thoughts on Texas Hold'em Poker. He's going to challenge us with buying or selling as well. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, which includes our lovely friend, Zachary Kubish.
Just 2 games in the NHL with Brock Besser making his return for the Canucks as they take on the Bruins before the Canadians play the Utah Hockey Club. Elsewhere, Timo Meier of the Devils has been suspended 1 game after cross-checking Nashville's Zachary Leroux in the face in last night's game. And the Calgary Stampeders have acquired Vernon Adams Jr. from the BC Lions in exchange for a 2nd and 4th round selection in this year's drafts, as well as a 2nd round draft pick in 2026, having the Lions sending a 2025 4th rounder and a 2026 3rd round selection the other way to Calgary. NBA Cup group stage action continues tonight with the Spurs tipping off with the Jazz and the Rockets battling the Timberwolves in 2 of 5 games in the association. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. And live in studio, after the break, Damon Bunting joins the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
This is one of the best posts that I have seen in my brief tenure here at EST in the Nasty Chat. Now, it does come from a colleague. He goes by above average in the Nasty Chat. That's YouTube Trev. And this ties together a bunch of the things we've discussed about in the first 41 minutes of the show. Trev says, Zacticum's favorite hand in poker is the royal flush. Just kidding. He doesn't play poker or know how to flush.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. So, yes, if you're just joining us, we have had, well, for a while it was a mysterious scent on the second floor of the building here in the Mayfield area that Zacticum investigated and found a left-behind gift in one of the washrooms here that apparently has been there decomposing for a few days, and we can't get rid of it. So the off-topic topic is... I'm going to get to you, Damon. Hang on.
This is good.
The off-topic topic is the most disgusting / uncomfortable incident in your workplace ever. So we had a pooped-on seat on a forklift or some sort of machinery at work for Corey B.
Yeah, like a...
That had to be cleaned.
Excavator or...
Do you want to get to one other one now, or are we going to compile these for later, so to speak? Compile them for later.
Rip City Step in his... He's good with words, so this is very well written. One time long ago, before the days of cell phones, in a Lou Albertan high school, there was a gigantic deposit in the upstairs boys' bathroom. Word spread quickly at this marvel of nature that appeared to have come from an elephant. Adolescent boys came from far and wide to look upon, and I hypothesize who could have left such a colossal colon cannonball. 'Twas the talk of the school for weeks, but no consensus on the culprit was ever reached. To that, you deserve this. That was well written.
That was from Rip City Step?
Yeah.
Very, very well written. I hope he gives us more beautiful use of the English language, which I appreciate. All right, Damon Bunting from Damon Bunting Real Estate is here in studio once again. Damon, good to see you.
Likewise. Good to see you guys.
Yes, thanks for rolling with the variety of the topics we've already had on the show. Oilers, Elks, Vernon Adams, smells, craft dinner.
Yeah. Well, first I'd like to say my name is Damon Bunting and I cannot cook.
Oh, you can't?
Well, no, I can. Okay. But I just...
good.
I think you offended a lot of people out there.
Really?
Yeah, because some people can't cook, and I think it hurts their heart to hear that.
Well, but I'm glad you shared that and opened up.
Yeah. It's about support.
Yeah.
And actually, craft dinner. So my daughter is actually in Australia visiting family for 6 weeks, and they don't have craft dinner there in Australia.
They don't have mac and cheese, or they plain
KD.
They don't have specifically
KD.
Okay.
So we had to load her up with multiple boxes, and they just had it for breakfast 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this came in from Old School Nasty. My Katie story is I was doing some online gaming with some American buddies and said to them, I'll be right back. I'm just going to make some craft dinner. They were confounded. What the hell is craft dinner, they said. My mind was blown. Apparently, KD is a Canadian thing.
They don't have it in the States?
In the States, it's just Kraft macaroni and cheese. They had no idea what I was talking about.
Oh, it's got a different name.
Now, that would be talk about mind-blowing.
Yeah, right.
They call it Kraft macaroni and cheese. We call it craft dinner.
Yeah, craft dinner is much easier to say.
Or as KD's emoji would suggest, KD.
Yeah, it gets shortened.
Have you guys? What are some KD enhancements?
Oh, I don't need it anymore.
Oh
No,
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm too snooty for it.
remember I'd put like a block of Velveeta cheese in it, like in university. It's so creamy.
Okay.
And now it's hot sauce, but I'd be surprised what other people put in their KD.
I was guilty of, not always, but just depending on the mood, I would add a few squirts of ketchup.
Yeah, that's a childhood thing.
That is.
Like you would have, I agree. And I've done that actually, I guess fairly recent in the last year I've done that. But also hot dogs, wieners.
Oh, yeah.
Cut up. Was that like a childhood
I've
thing?
seen that. I don't know. I can't remember if we did that, but
I don't need to do that ever again, but that was a thing.
That was a thing.
There's a point where, to me, you don't need to eat the things that sustained you as a child.
If I put if I could have put a cooked bowl of Kraft dinner in front of you, Reid, would you have a bite? If it was,
I'd have a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if I would want very much though. Yeah.
Can you get the Kraft Dinner powder cheese at Bulk Barn?
Somewhere.
I think somewhere you can get
probably
it.
in a big drum somewhere
as a shaker.
Yeah.
Oh, you get it as a shaker?
Like you can shake it onto as a seasoning.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I like that.
Probably just straight salt.
Okay, I'm wondering, Damon, do you play Texas Hold'em either in person or online?
I can't say I do.
Have you ever?
Online, no. We used to a few years ago, university on, and we used to bet like watermelon seeds and stuff because we had no money.
No money.
Do you remember we did a few things? Yeah, you were in on that too. Or like pistachios, and then but you know what? I haven't done poker for a while because it's just something when I'm done, I'm still thinking about it for hours.
Oh, what if I should have done this? What if I would have got this card? I should have played out that.
Exactly.
hand.
I'm that guy.
Oh,
so.
Okay. I get that. I'm not you, so you heard my lamentation.
I did.
Do I make sense to you? Because we got a couple people. Jay thought I was whining. Somebody thought I was being a curmudgeon.
You know, sometimes it makes sense to whine.
Thank you.
Right?
That's great. I just, again, it's a lot of folding, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
Everything we do in our lives, we're taught to take action, do something, accomplish something. And that is the ultimate goal of Texas Hold'em. But most other things, the way to accomplish something grand, like victory or selling property or hosting a talk show, involves a bunch of smaller steps of action to get to the big action. The interesting thing about Texas Hold'em is the big action is the result of sometimes hours of inaction.
That is true. But see, my problem is I'm not one for inaction, especially like in any games. I'm too competitive.
Right.
So usually I'm either gonna just beat everybody or I'm gonna be the first guy out. Because I'm just gonna keep betting and just, trying to keep your poker face and win, right?
Yeah,
so
you're just going to be like, I got one ace in the pocket. Let's see if I get one in the flop.
Exactly.
I'll bet everything.
Yep.
I'll assume it's coming.
Exactly.
No one else will have anything.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit like that too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll come around, and at 8 o'clock, I will see you in the lobby of the
Come around how, Jay? That implies I have a problem, that I need to be corrected.
Yeah, you do. You do. And it starts with your attitude right now, actually. It's quite...
Well, I think my attitude is based on personal experience.
Yeah, but you tried once.
I tried it.
You need to try things more than once to get a proper read.
Okay,
read.
I might go in tonight. We'll see.
I think you should.
We'll see.
I think you'll be.
I hope we're
excited
at the same table.
Yeah, me too.
I'll just auto fold. I'll just auto fold until 11 p.m. I don't even have to watch the computer.
Fine with me.
Oh, how many people are left?
Fine with me.
I guess you would lose eventually everything with all the blinds. Wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. You need to accrue.
You'd get chipped
capital.
away. Doing nothing does chip away at your stack.
You need to
I know the terminology, Jay.
Right. Read.
That's half the battle.
Yes, thank you.
Know the terminology.
You need to make 2 or 3 big moves, 2 or 3 big all-in hands that you win, and you're sitting pretty.
Yeah. Whether you're bluffing or not.
Yeah.
Just own it. Make eye contact.
Whether or not you have the nuts. I learned that's a term today as well. If you have a really good hand, that's the nuts. Or the best possible hand.
That's the best possible hand, given
like
the
5
cards.
aces.
That's the nuts and cheating.
That'd be okay.
Is it possible to get 5 aces? Reid doesn't bet until he has 5 aces, everybody.
Fold.
Bring an ace in your pocket.
Yeah.
Then just hold it up to the camera on the computer. I got a 5th ace, baby. All right, Damon Bunting is here, and he's going to provide us with buying or selling. Damon, of course, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. DamonBunting.com, on Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate. I should ask first, because we're approaching Christmas. The weather has turned colder. How does that affect your industry, if at all?
Usually between October, November, first week of December, there's usually like a week or two where there's a run on properties that have sold.
Okay.
Inventory is still low, rates are good. I would say it's pretty abnormal. So with the low inventory, there's not as much activity, but if a property is priced right, you're going to be in multiple offers, which we have property we listed yesterday will be 3+ offers today. So it's not normal for end of November, but we'll take it. But it's also nice to have a break because I love Christmas. And it's the time of year, so for it to slow down a little bit is always good. But
there must be a point like the 21st, 22nd when people just don't want showings for a while.
You would like to think that.
Oh, really? Like people will say, can you show it to me on 2 p.m. on the 24th?
Christmas Eve, there was one year I was working on 3 offers. On Christmas Eve, I'm like, who are you people?
Wow.
Like, why are you doing this?
But I guess if they think that's where I want to live, they think they can't stop.
Yeah. So but that would be abnormal. So usually the first few days leading up to Christmas over the Christmas break is typically where you can relax a little bit, watch some football, watch some hockey, junior hockey, that type of thing. And I actually did show a few years ago a property in my, not pajamas, but like my lounge gear, like sweats or whatever. Wow. I'm like, I can come show the property in a half hour because you got to do it when people ask, right? So like, if you're okay, me wearing sweats and a hat and a hoodie, they're like, no problem. So
when someone calls you, if there's a seller that calls you and says, or, they see you on this show and they're like, okay, this guy's a nice guy. I'm going to trust him here. So they get in touch and they say, Damon, I want to sell my home. What's the first question you ask them?
Ooh, that's good.
First question.
Cats or dogs?
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of the times you have different conversations or they may ask a few questions first. So that's a good question. But normally it would be a case of one of the big questions I would ask is like, what are your timelines?
Okay.
And what is the reason for you to sell?
Even before, how much money do you want to make? What neighborhood are you in? Anything like that?
Yep.
You're like, what's happening here?
Yeah, exactly. And one of the last questions I'll have, like from an initial conversation to me sitting down in front of them in their home with a listing presentation, one of the last questions I have is, how did you get my name?
Oh, nice.
So I will say we've some of your couple of your listeners, thanks to EST, they became clients of mine. And about a month ago, one couple, they moved into their condo and sold their other property. So when I asked them what's the reason for selling, they said we want to downsize. So it just kind of gives you an idea what they're after.
Right.
And another question I like asking online when a buyer says, hey, I want to see this property. First question, are you working with a realtor? Because if you are, then stick with them, right? Mm-hmm. So on the buying end, that's one of my first questions.
Okay. Damon Bunting is here in studio. Rob from the Grove says, if we get to 100 likes, Reid has to play in the poker tournament tonight. Is that a thing?
Whoa,
is that a thing? Okay.
Let's do it.
Get us to 100 thumbs up on
all you pleasure
YouTube,
delayers,
and I'll
come out of the
consider
woodwork.
playing in the poker tournament tonight. Strongly consider. All right. Do you want to do one buying or selling right now, or save them all for after 4? Let's do one now to get us going.
Let's do one now. Okay.
We brought notes.
Usually I'm not prepared. I usually go off the top of my head. But okay, so in the theme of Christmas, for the buy or sell, let's say, will we as fans or as a collective group, will we get a present or a lump of coal? So for example, let's start with the Oilers. So what are the Oilers going to give us to close out the year, heading into the new year? So will they give us a present filled with a nice winning streak? Are they going to fall off a little bit, knowing what the schedule is going to be, the injuries we have, that type of thing?
I think they're going to have a good December, and they have the potential to have a pretty decent November, right? Especially if they win the last couple of games.
Yeah, if they win the last two, they'd be 8-4-1.
Which is a decent month.
That's a good month.
Which is a
That's
decent
not
month.
bad.
If you went 4 games over 500 in every month, you're a 100-point team. Now, unfortunately, in October, they didn't bank a lot of points. I think there are some...
and don't forget the Thanksgiving cutoff.
Oh, my God.
That's true.
Oh, my God. You're just picking at me today.
Sometimes it's just...
I don't have a ticket for the poker tournament.
When is the cutoff? Is that Thursday?
It's Thursday is American Thanksgiving. They should just start the playoffs on Saturday. That American Thanksgiving is such a big deal. I think they're going to have a decent month of December. Look, it's absurd to compare it to last year at this point because they won 24 out of 27 games. But I'd like to think that in the next 20 or so games they could go something like 12-7-1 and start to build and maybe leave some mediocre teams behind as opposed to being a mediocre team themselves.
Okay, they have 13 games. Write this down: a win, a loss column. We'll just do rapid fire.
We're doing it right now, even before November is over.
Yes. Damon asked the question. Let's answer it. Tuesday the 3rd. They are away. They're in Vegas.
Yeah, loss.
Monday home to the Blue, or Thursday home to the Blue Jackets.
We're doing each game.
Well, just win, loss.
Look at it. Win.
Blues at home.
Win.
Lightning at home.
Win.
Wild away.
Loss.
Vegas at home.
Win.
Florida at home.
Loss.
Boston at home.
Win.
San Jose at home.
Win.
Ottawa at home.
Win.
Kings away.
Loss.
Anaheim away.
Win.
Utah at home.
Win. So I had them 9-4.
Yeah. Well,
I'll take that.
That would be better than a lump of coal.
So you are buying. So that's a present, not a lump of coal.
Yeah, I'm buying.
All right, there we go. That's
Milne,
good.
are you?
Yeah, I think that this team is trending the right way. Slowly, but it really depends if they can get away from this habit of going, off the deep end for a game from time to time. They can if they can play like they did on Saturday night, this team's contending for a Stanley Cup.
Right.
If they play like they did against the Wild, playoffs may be out of the picture. So it's a little bit too Jekyll and Hyde. But I think in general, and we'll get into it here a little bit later in the show, but I think in general they're building on, what they're improving. That's all I can really say.
That was a good one. And we're going to evaluate the Oilers and lump them and group them in 4 groups of 5. The top 5 players this year, next group, bottom group.
Oh, right.
That's how we're going to do it.
Nice.
As opposed to giving grades. Do something a little
I
different.
like that.
It's 4 o'clock. Damon Bunting from Damon Bunting Real Estate is going to be with us until about 20 after. He has a couple more buying or sellings, courtesy of himself, coming up. We got a break, and then we got the Cube with the sports update. What smells?
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
There's 2 games in the NHL with the Canadiens battling the Utah HC and the Canucks hitting the ice with the Boston Bruins. In the CFL, Vernon Adams Jr. is now a Stampeder. The Stamps traded 3 picks, including this year's 2nd and 4th rounders, as well as a 2nd-round pick in 2026 for Adams, while the Lions sent over a 2025 4th-round pick and a 2026 3rd-round selection to Calgary. And after not playing yesterday, Grady Dick will miss another game tomorrow for the Raptors with a left calf strain when Toronto plays the Pelicans. And tonight, the NBA has 5 games on schedule, which sees the Bulls taking on the Wizards and the Bucks meeting up with the Heat in NBA group stage action. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Zach, private toilet investigator. He's a PTI. Getting us back from break here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. We have Damon Bunting from Damon Bunting Real Estate in studio. He brings us buying or selling every day. Remember, if you're consuming the show on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Apparently, if there's 100 thumbs up, I have to play poker tonight. Now, they're not saying I have to try. Just that I have to go in the tournament.
No. Nobody's asking you to try. Just be a part of it.
Just be a part of it.
You can try or you can donate.
There you go.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. But I seriously don't have a ticket. Remember that's why I was so stressed out last time. Part of the reason was because I didn't have a ticket, Jay.
Okay, next break I'll look at it and just make sure.
Or maybe it's here and I don't know how to get it.
Yeah. Were you truly stressed out?
Yes, I was.
Were you?
I seriously was. Because when I'm going into something and doing something new for the first time, I need to know that procedurally I'm going to be able to participate and it won't be 7:58 and I don't know how to log in. I need to know how to log in and be ready to play.
Gotcha.
I think that's fair. I think that's
that part wasn't
acceptable.
whining.
No, that was reality. That was just Reid was doing what somebody did in the toilet there earlier and just couldn't. It's daunting. It's if never have played an online game of poker and you're being asked to play it. But now that you know, that's why I really am trying to encourage you to join.
Well, that's true. I should be more comfortable this time around in a lot of different ways. So okay, fair enough. You've
hey, we ain't to 100 likes
me.
yet. So.
You've comforted me.
What are we at for likes?
We are
mid-60s, I think.
Come on, keep them coming.
There we go.
Yeah, some people do it later in the day on purpose, or some people are in and out.
Reid has a name for them.
Pleasure delayers, because there are some people who will watch the entire show but not click the thumbs up until the end of the show, late in the show. They're pleasure delayers.
Well, but maybe you can maybe scroll through social media and just like everything and not even read it, just to say, hey, I liked it. But maybe these people are saying, you know what, I actually have to like the show.
That's true.
Yeah,
and they're like, I'm not going to like it just because, but I'm like, you have to perform, which
that's fair.
Which you guys do. You're great. thumbs up all around. But maybe that's what they're thinking is,
Yeah,
or
maybe.
they are.
They're not going to assume the show is good, even if they watch it every day and like it almost every day.
Yeah.
They want to.
They
want
need
to
to
be
find
brought
out for
in
themselves.
They want to be enticed
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and pleasured.
Yes. Yes. Damon, I've got a buying or selling for you.
Okay.
The news of Vernon Adams joining the Calgary Stampeders as a free agent. Is Trey Ford the starting quarterback week 1 for the Edmonton Elks next year? Buying or selling? Or I'll just say Trey Ford is the starting quarterback for the Elks.
Is or should be?
Is. Are you buying or selling that?
Selling.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're selling, then who would you suggest is the starting quarterback? TBD, bruh.
TBD. I just
BLM, bruh.
there was a pretty intense debate after the Estes. I remember, and I really like Trey Ford, what he could bring and his potential. I don't love the word potential for years to come. So I'll be honest. Some of his throws, I'm like, remind me of Nealon Green. But then he makes the play that you're just, wow, did I just see that, right?
Yeah.
So can he be groomed? I will say this, like with Hervey in, and this actually leads to, so I will say sell.
Okay.
Trey Ford. I think Hervey has something up his sleeve. And so we'll just jump into my buy and sell back at you, because this was actually for the Elks. Will Hervey provide us and gift us with a present in the off season, or a lump of coal?
In the form of a certain position, or just in general?
You can take either take. Like, I just, in the grand scope of things, just seeing what we've been seeing in the last 2-3 years and seasons, can he bring his previous success, which led to a Grey Cup?
Yep.
And I'll say this: I'm buying what he's going to bring for the community. Right? I'm truly excited that he's in Edmonton.
Who Jim Skitsko is.
Yeah,
very well. And you know, he's been hired as the community ambassador of amateur football. We're going to have him on our show actually just after the 5 o'clock hour. I think that's an incredible hire, something that has not been done with inside of this organization that will see extreme payoff,
right,
for the team and the club moving forward. I will buy that Ed Hervey will deliver this offseason.
Yeah, I will buy that there'll be some astute moves, and that the culture will change to use something that's been overused the last couple of weeks with Morris and with the head coach.
I think offensively for this team, they're generally okay. It's not a stinker on offense. The defense is what needs the most help.
Right.
That D-line and the defensive secondary needs major upgrading, and I think he will deliver that. So, yes, I am buying that we will get, what was the opposite of a lump of coal? A present?
A present.
We'll get a nice present.
See, in growing up and going to my Baba's house in Vegreville, it was either a lump of coal or a mandarin orange. Mandarin orange meant you were good.
Nice. Was it like the old dried out one, or like?
Yes, we would have to peel it and eat it one by one slice per day.
Wow. Okay, and I'll say this: the present can't be a present where you open it and you're like, am I supposed to like this? I'll smile, thanks. Or like when I say present, has to be like home run.
Oh, no, I think there'll be a couple moves where we actually say, okay, this guy's a good CFL player.
Yeah.
He's proven, or that's a solid move.
And
that's not a question mark move.
Not in his 13th, 12th year. A good up and coming player, maybe under the radar. I mean, I've said a name already that's in Saskatchewan that I would love to see in green and gold next year, and Jaden Dalkey, a young safety.
Golden Bear.
Yeah. No, well, Wildcat. I think Wildcat I think he may have played 1 year.
Or did he go to U of S?
No, he did.
I interviewed him at some point.
He did do U of A. You're right, Reid. I'd love to see him back here. That is a talent, a very, very talented player. They just have an incredible secondary in Saskatchewan, so he may be expendable. You may be able to poke somebody like that and bring him back into Alberta.
Yeah, he was a Bear. He's from Leduc. I knew I'd interviewed him before.
So, if he can make some of those signings where you can bolster your Canadian talent, because that's huge. That's a big part of this, the CFL, and bring in some big name, big time pass rushers, like a young Willie Jefferson.
Well, he was here.
Yeah, I know.
At one point. Yeah, that's. I think they need a pass rusher, and I've always thought every position in football is important. But if you said to me you're starting a football team, and you can have 2 excellent players, and then you got to build from there. We're going to give you 2 excellent players off the top. I would take a quarterback and I would take a rush end, because the quarterback touches the ball every play on offense, and there's, especially in the CFL, if you get a sack, the stats are something that if there's a sack on a drive, it's around 95% that the team does not score a touchdown on that drive. Because if you think about it, if you get a sack on first down, it's probably 2nd and 15. If you get a sack on second down, it's 3rd. You get a kick, whether it's field goal range or a punt. So, you look back in 03 and 05 when they were good. I mean, didn't one year they had Montford and another year they had Alfred Payton. I can't remember which was which. And then I can't remember who the big sack guy was in 2015. I think they just had an overall good D-line, with Sewell, and Odell was there, wasn't he? So, yeah.
Sewell's great.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm selling that Hervey, I'm buying that Hervey basically will have a good off season.
Okay. Yeah. And I agree. I'm excited.
Buying or selling? This one, we talked about this a bit on our show, but I want to get your take. Vasily Podkolzin is a bona fide top 6 player on the Oilers.
Right now? Or?
Right now.
You know what? I would, after he potted his first goal, I'll say bye. Throw him up there.
Okay.
I like his well-rounded game. Now, I mean, once we have what happens when Kane comes back, if Arvidsson comes back, does Hyman hit his stride, then what a great 3rd line option or 4th line. But right now, he's earned it. He's done everything. That goal was great. Just monkey off the back, right?
Well, and as Reid said, I mean, you're playing with 2 of the top 5 players in the NHL. Good things should happen.
Better get points.
Yeah,
I'm still selling on that, but I hope he improves and he proves me
But
wrong.
here's the thing, right? Like what Damon said, when the injury bug goes away and Hyman's back and Arvidsson's back, and he goes back into a where you think he would be, where 3rd line role, 4th line role, he'll have a lot more experience, a lot more pace of play experience. So it can only be a positive at this point if he continues to play and contribute.
Right.
At that level.
All right, you got one more for us?
Oh, I do.
Let's do it.
So this is keeping up on the Christmas theme. Christmas albums. So think of
songs?
Well, song or album. So what is just a lump of coal, Christmas song or album?
Ooh.
What is one of the best presents you've had that would be an album or a song?
Christmas.
So I'll get one out of the way.
That's a tough one.
One of the best all-time albums out there, New Kids on the Block.
Okay.
They had a Christmas album?
It was fantastic.
Okay. I don't know if you know of any bands that I like that put out a specifically Christmas album. Did Twisted Sister do that? They might have done some songs.
Oh, they're Christmas in Hollis.
Alvin and the Chipmunks from Matt Hyman. Yeah, their Christmas album was great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He wants a hula hoop or whatever.
Yes, that song.
My all-time favorite. It goes on in our house every year. I raided my parents' record collection when I moved out, or when I got married and had a record player, because they didn't use theirs at all. So I'm like, I'm going to go through here. Yeah. So I found this one Christmas album. No idea who this was, but it's just a collection of known Christmas songs, but they're all sung by Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh, right.
And it is the Engelbert Humperdinck A Merry Christmas album, and it is delightful.
Oh, cool.
He sings all the hits in only the way that Engelbert Humperdinck could do.
I think when I was a kid, I used to listen to an LP.
That's a good one.
Called a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Ah,
that's good.
Yeah, the Peanuts gang would do albums.
Yeah. That actually, I remember that one. Oh, well, what about Boney M?
Boney M. I was just bringing it up.
Boney M's a classic.
Mary's Boy Child, Feliz Navidad.
Yeah. So that's a good one. I'd like to see people's takes on that, because there was some definite misses. Like Mariah Carey that would be popular, but I couldn't listen to a whole album of Mariah Carey. That high octave business.
Boney M's got to be up there.
I would say so. Yeah.
Does Def Leppard have a Christmas album?
They do not. They did do a Christmas song a few years ago, but just one song. They never did an album.
How was
Wasn't there a Now Christmas? You remember?
Yeah, there was a series.
There was a Now Christmas.
Those were good.
Just Tom Petty, I think, had a song. Bon Jovi.
Yeah, like Smashing Pumpkins, Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis. That's one of the best.
Oh, right.
I actually, speaking of vinyls, I have a buddy of mine. Every Christmas day, I send him a video of, I actually have the Run DMC Christmas in Hollis vinyl. And it is so awesome.
Oh,
like it
neat.
has, Christmas lights and that. So I spin it, and that's my
fun.
Merry Christmas greeting every year.
William Mike Spears sent in a limerick with Damon here, so we'll definitely get to that. Hey guys,
I like limericks.
A limerick for you. With Damon, they are buying and selling it. Poop stories, people are telling it. Will Reid go all in? Not according to him. He just wants to stare at Joe Elliott.
Yes, I do. That is a good one.
Well
Who's that
done.
from again?
William Mike Spear.
William Mike Spear gets an autopecked Dolores the Hen
Dolores
poster
the Hen, nice.
for that high quality limerick.
That was good.
Mike from Calgary, Boney M for the win, Rob from the Grove, Mariah
and Dolly.
Carey.
Kenny and Dolly in the Nasty Chat. Did they do a Christmas album?
I don't know.
Yes, I don't know.
Oh,
Christmas Vacation soundtrack. That's a good one.
All right. Damon, again, thanks for coming in. An absolute blast
You
to
bet.
see you. Thanks for supporting Edmonton Sports Talk and presenting Buying or Selling every day on the Reid Wilkins Show. Remind people how they can find you, get in touch with you if they might need your realtor services.
Yeah, absolutely. So my website's damonbunting.com, and Instagram is Damon Bunting Real Estate. There's some really exciting things going to be happening in 2025. And also with Christmas, I'll be talking to these guys here, and we did something with Dusty and the crew. So we usually do a 7 days of Christmas giveaway, and that's going to be on our socials. So I'm going to talk to these guys. We're going to, for 7 consecutive days, we have some pretty awesome giveaways.
Oh, nice.
So I think we can get creative. And for some of the listeners out there, I think we'll have something good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming in. It's really great to see you.
Yeah, you too.
That is Damon Bunting. We're going to give you our tiered evaluations. Tiered as in steps, not crying tiered, of Edmonton Oilers players when we get back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Only a 2-game slate in the NHL, with the Canadians going at it with the hockey club and the Canucks having puck drop against the Bruins. And there's been a trade in the CFL which sees Vernon Adams Jr. moving from the Lions to the Stampeders in exchange for his 2nd and 4th rounder for this year, as well as a 2nd round pick in 2026. Along with Adams being dealt to Calgary, the Lions sent a 2025 4th round selection and a 2026 3rd rounder the other way. And the Raptors will be without Grady Dick for another game as he's sidelined for tomorrow's action with a left calf strain when Toronto battles the Pelicans. There's 5 games in NBA Cup group stage action, which sees the Bucks tipping off with the Heat and the Rockets matching up against the Timberwolves. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep, where you can save big with their Black Friday sale. Get a queen-size Euro top mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones slashed down to half price for only $3.99. Find great deals like this and more for the rest of the month at Sit and Sleep. Shop Black Friday sales now at Sit and Sleep. You can find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. Reid and Jay come back with their evaluation of the Oilers team thus far this season. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
FXR Edmonton is the place to shop for the best deals of the year.
Whether you're looking for snowmobile apparel, riding gear, workwear, or a new jacket for looking stylish around town,
FXR Edmonton is the place to be. Door crasher deals up to 80% off, and the entire store is on sale, so don't miss out.
the best deals of the year. Black Friday at FXR Edmonton, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Come see us at 324 Mayfield Common.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Maybe we just don't belong. I say we set it on fire. Maybe we just don't belong. I say we set it on fire.
All right, that was great to have Damon Bunting join us in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com today and book your private consultation. Of course, Damon Bunting, one of the, great realtors in Edmonton and area, and the sponsor of Buying or Selling, which we present every day as well. We have the Nasty Chat going on YouTube. The poker tournament is at 8. Can people still go in?
Yes.
Okay, how do they do that? Go to
you
Coolbet?
Go to Coolbet. If you go to the poker site and you search in the poker tournaments, Lock Shop Series.
Or maybe that's what I have to do.
Or just Lock Shop, it'll come up.
So if I go play poker in browser, and then I go, how do I search it though? Shouldn't I? If I have a ticket, shouldn't it be readily available?
It should say that.
Here's my screen, buddy.
Okay, click on that.
Click on the 3 bars.
Go to tickets.
Tickets. Ah.
There.
Oh, I have one. Oh, I guess I have to play now.
So.
And then I just start playing. I don't click play now. I click it tonight.
No, you don't click the ticket. You go to the Lock Shop tournament. So go to tournaments. Get out of that screen.
Okay.
Go to tournaments, and press on the filter button.
There is no tournaments.
Yeah, there is.
Where?
Click out of this screen.
Oh, there. This thing.
Yeah, press apply. Click on that and register. Boom!
You've successfully registered in the Lock Shop Poker Series. Good luck. So now when I go into this tonight, I don't have to do anything?
You just go into the lobby and it'll take you to your table.
It'll take me to my table.
Yep.
How exciting.
That touchscreen's incredible.
Oh, yeah, I have a touchscreen on my laptop.
That's neat.
780-218-9999.
So you can press fold right on your screen. You don't have to use your mouse.
I could, but I'll use my mouse. Probably.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I rarely actually use the touch screen. I didn't get the laptop because it had that function. I just happened to get
it. Zach, if you can, or maybe the Nasties will remind us, but closer to Christmas, we gotta start having all-time Christmas lists. Like this talk about records and albums, Christmas albums, is popping off.
Oh, good.
So we're going to have to remind ourselves to do that closer to the season.
Oh, for sure. We're going to do, as we move into December, we'll have more Christmas-themed off-topic topics and Reid's top 3s.
Yeah.
And for my Reid's top 3, I want to do probably like the best books I read this year, which will be about a list out of 15 or so, but I've read more this year than in other years. Maybe just some top things from the past year, and that'll get some discussion going as well, which will be fun. But today, the off-topic topic is the most disgusting or uncomfortable incident you ever experienced in your workplace, because we have a smelly, plugged-up bathroom here at EST.
We've got some really good ones. This is a very specific one, but it's funny. I'm a teacher and I split my pants in the crotch. Also, walked into the bathroom where Katrina LeMay Doan was in there. She didn't lock it. Comes in from Mikey. This is a long one, so bear with me.
Okay. I hope it's really disgusting.
Rusty Shackelford. I worked with a guy who cleared out the meeting room with going to the washroom prior to the meeting with a potential business partner. For some reason, I still don't understand. Older hotels used to build their meeting rooms with a private washroom, a part of the meeting room for convenience. There was a prior colleague who decided to utilize the facility in the meeting room after lunch, and it took a number 2 in the attached washroom. As soon as he opened the door after doing his business, the entire meeting room was cleared out. All of us who were in the meeting stood out in the hallway while the smell left the room. There was about 7 or 8 of us. And potential business partners came down the hallway to have the meeting and saw us standing in the hallway. We told them why we could not go into the room. This lasted a total of 20 minutes where we stood in the hallway waiting for the smell to leave the room. And my manager was the one to take one for the team to ensure we could continue with the meeting. After this instance, this person was no longer allowed in the attached bathrooms at all.
Oh, my goodness. That's awkward. But I guess they were honest about it. I mean, what do you say? Hey, why can't we use the office right now? It smells like a poo. We can't go in there. The Chaos Jester in the Nasty Chat says Pleasure Delayers was Def Leppard's second choice for a band name. He knows that's not true. It was actually Blind Tiger, because apparently Joe Elliott had a thing for animals with some sort of disability. We appreciate you, Chaos Jester. Very funny on the rare occasions you do jump into the Nasty Chat. And, of course, give us a thumbs up if you're there as well as we endeavor to reach 100 on every show. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Jump in there and give it to us now. All right, the Oilers skated today. As I mentioned, the forwards and the defensemen were broken into different groups. Derek Ryan, sick, not on the ice. Kaperi Kapanen, Kapanen, the friendly ghost, was not on the ice as he was working out some visa issues. We are going to do the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood. All right, so here's what Jay and I have decided to do today, as we do have a break here in the Oilers' schedule, and they have basically completed one quarter of their season at 22 games. Obviously, I guess a game or two past that out of the 82. So we were thinking, well, let's kind of grade them or talk about how they've done. And then we said, well, instead of just giving everybody an A, B, C, or D, or a rank out of 10, or saying they were excellent, very good, or average, or whatever, we said, let's group the players into tiers. And we're going to have 4 tiers of players, and you have to have exactly 5 players in every group. So you can't say, oh, well, there's only one top-tier guy, and there's 16 guys in the second tier. We said, no, you got to have a top 5, a second 5, a third 5, and a bottom 5.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to do for GCL Diesel, the Oil Understood, and you can participate as well. I don't know if anybody sent in an entire list or not, but we're going to go down in the list. We're going to go down in the order of the scoring lead on the team, and we're not doing Kapanen, Philp, Kajula, Josh Brown, or Dermott because they haven't played enough.
Yeah.
It's not fair to include everybody, and this gives us exactly 20. So we'll start at the top with Leon Draisaitl.
Wow, wow, wow.
And Leon Draisaitl has 30 points in 22 games. He might be able to get 60 goals this season. He already has 16. To me, he is obviously one of the top 5 players on the team. He's in my top tier.
Top tier.
Probably not a lot of discussion there.
Probably not.
Okay, so we've done Leon Draisaitl.
Leon's been doing Leon things.
Leon's been very good. Then you have Connor McDavid with 28 points in 19 games. For a while, Connor McDavid wasn't quite himself, and then he got hurt, but he was around a point a game, which for him isn't great. He's up to 28 points. He's +7. He had a great game against the New York Rangers. He's had other great games. He goes into my top tier.
Me too.
Okay, so those 2 are easy. Now we go to the third leading scorer on the team, Evan Bouchard. I'll let you tier him first.
Well, I would understand that by leading me into that question that you've tiered him somewhere where you don't think I have.
I don't know.
So here's the deal. Evan Bouchard is third on the points and scoring with 15 points, plus 5 for the season. I tiered him as a top-tier player right now because Evan Bouchard, as we've found out on this show with one of your well-laid-out rants, Evan Bouchard is supposed to be offensive. Now, is he putting up the offensive numbers that we thought he would? No, but nobody really is other than Leon and Connor. So I've still got him tiered as a top-tier player. Expectations of Bouchard are not to be a strong defender. That's just who he is. Reality is that he's still third on this team in points.
Yeah, I just think that he's been a little too inconsistent, and his bad moments have been too often and too severely bad. So, I mean, clearly his point total, he's working his way up there again to maybe being a point-a-game player, as he was pretty much last season. But he does not have a power play goal, even though he has 6th on even strength. Again, I think there's been some major gaffes and inconsistency in his game. So I'm actually putting Bouchard in the second tier.
That's what I thought you would. I knew this top tier and second tier. We're going to have some real squeakers. I've rewarded a player specifically coming up in my top tier, but we will get to that.
Well, and again, part of the way I do this when I evaluate players is you have to evaluate, yes, how they are doing, but also how they are doing based on their role on the team and the standards you have for them based on who they've been throughout their career, right? So you can't just go by the points and saying, well, these guys are the best and then these guys are the worst, because some players you don't expect points from, and we're going to see that here as we go along. The 4th leading scorer on the team with, we'll just do the order they're on this sheet here because there's 4 guys with 10 points. But we're going to go to Darnell Nurse next, who's plus 2, has 10 points in 19 games, did miss some time with the head injury after the hit from Ryan Reeves. A beauty shorthanded goal a couple of days ago against the New York Rangers. Where do you have Nurse?
I've tiered Nurse as a tier 2 player. I don't think that, that he's playing probably better, I would say, than most would have expected. His contract and all that rumblings of, he's not worth that, that's just out of anybody's control right now. That's out of anybody's hands. But I think there are other players that deserve to be in the top tier other than Darnell Nurse, in my opinion.
I've also put him in the second tier for his play so far this season. The point total is pretty good. I mean, he's on pace for 40 points. He is plus on a team that has had some games in which they've allowed a lot of goals. I actually think overall, Nurse has had a decent season. I guess maybe there just haven't been enough home run type of plays. And he, like many players, especially earlier, had some struggles earlier in the season. But I'm going to put him in that tier of players 6 through 10 so far for the Oilers this season.
Do you want to keep doing this just in the order, or do you want to now maybe...
Do you want to go to the bottom?
Maybe.
Okay.
Just to switch it up, right? You know what I mean?
All right. So the lowest scoring player on the Oilers, well, there's a couple of them, with 1 assist in 20 games, and he's -5, is Ty Emberson. Now, I'm going to say this. There are a lot of Oilers players that have been having kind of underwhelming seasons. So I am, despite those stats, and he was scratched a couple of times, 1 assist in 20 games and -5, I'm not putting Ty Emberson in the bottom tier. I think he's developing. I think he's been better as of lately and is maybe starting to find his place here on the team. And I do think there are players, quite frankly, who have been more disappointing. So I have Ty Emberson in the 3rd tier.
Ty Emberson was my bubble guy on to being included in the 4th tier. I know what you're saying, but I don't think the expectations and reality of Ty Emberson right now are too far off. That's why I included him as the 4th tier player.
All right. Troy Stetcher has 1 assist in 18 games. He's also -5. His stats are quite similar to Emberson. I'm putting him in the bottom tier, though. I've praised Stetcher for, he had that big fight earlier in the season. I do think he gives you what he has. I've never doubted his effort. I just think he's limited in what he can actually do. And he has been guilty of some big mistakes, as we saw, the triple turnover or whatever it was against the Minnesota Wild. I considered putting him maybe in the third tier just because he does try his butt off every night, but ultimately I'm putting him in the bottom tier.
As am I.
Okay.
For those same reasons. But I mean, if you're looking, I don't think anybody expected Troy Stetcher to come in here and be a world beater. Do you know what I mean?
His potential is probably not. His potential is probably third tier.
Yeah,
unless he goes out and gets
Great
4
point.
goals or something
Exactly.
in 10 games. But yeah, Derek Ryan up. So we're skipping over Kajula, Philp, and Kapanen. Derek Ryan has been pretty much a shoe-in for double-digit goals throughout the course of his career. He has no goals and 2 assists this season. He's played 20 games. He is -4. Oddly enough, he has 12 penalty minutes. He's part of the PK, which struggled for the first, month or so of the season, and now has been better. But I would like to see him put the puck in the net once or twice every 10 games. So I'm actually putting Derek Ryan in the bottom tier.
As am I.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I just have not seen enough of Derek Ryan in the offensive zone. Penalty kills, that's what you are there to do. But you're also there to chip in some points. As you said, he's been held goalless up to this point. So, yes, I know he's part of a resurgent penalty kill, but that's your job. To break out of this tier 4 and to get into the third tier, goals have to be a part of that.
Okay, let's do one more before we break, and then we'll finish off the roster. And we're going to go to Victor Arvidsson, who has played 16 games. He is hurt right now. He has 2 goals and 3 assists. He is +2. You got to remember, all 3 assists came in one game. Where are you putting Arvidsson?
Tier 4. I have not been impressed with Arvidsson. And there's another player that I will be soon joining him that might surprise you as well. It may not surprise you, but from what I'm seeing, from what he was supposed to come in to contribute to this team, from the Victor Arvidsson the Oilers have played against in the playoffs, that's not the Victor Arvidsson we're seeing. Add to insult to injury with his injuries right now, literally. People saying, oh, that's the same old Arvidsson. He's going to miss games. Needs to do more.
So we've only disagreed on 2 players so far, Eberson and Bouchard, because I'm also putting Arvidsson in the bottom tier. And as people will remember, I was quite thrilled with his signing and optimistic about how he could play, not just in terms of point production, but in terms of the old difficult to play against thing. Yep. And we haven't seen that nearly enough. It was great he had a 3-assist game. Cool, but they all came in one game. So in 15 of his 16 games, he hasn't had an assist. He only has a couple of goals. I guess minor credit for being plus on a team where you could easily be minus. But, yeah, hopefully back from injury soon and doing a lot better. But I'm putting him in right now in the bottom tier of the team.
Yeah, and I would have liked to seen a lot more agitation from a Victor Arvidsson.
Yeah, totally.
And that's simply not existent right now.
All right, we're going to go through the rest of the roster. This is fun, and then we'll kind of summarize where we have everybody when we wrap it up as well. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Book your holiday party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Zachary Kubish updates your sports.
Just 2 games in the NHL, with Brock Besser making his return for the Canucks as they take on the Bruins before the Canadians play the hockey club. And the Calgary Stampeders have acquired Vernon Adams Jr. from the BC Lions in exchange for a 2nd and 4th round selection in this year's draft and a 2nd round pick in 2026, having the Lions send over a 2025 4th rounder and a 2026 3rd round selection the other way to Calgary. And basketball has Grady Dick of the Raptors being ruled out for tomorrow's action against the Pelicans with a left calf strain after missing yesterday's game as well. And the NBA Cup group stage action continues with the Spurs tipping off with the Jazz and the Rockets battling the Timberwolves in 2 of 5 games around the association. This sports update has been brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years, Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. Reid and Jay continue tearing the Oilers from this season. Just after the break, I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Gunn's take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Gunn's today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
We are back. We are back with the Reid Wilkins Show, and Penner's Pancakes dropped the perfect comment in the nasty chat. Arvidsson was a giant pain in the ass in the 3 series against the Oilers, and that's exactly the point. That's what Oilers fans expected to have come to Edmonton, to be a pain in the butt of other teams, and he has simply not delivered. James B. Arvidsson has been non-existent. However, Penner's Pancakes followed up that statement with saying, "I'm not giving up on Arvidsson yet, not on Jay Skinner either." I like how he uses Jay Skinner.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I see a spot for him when everybody, including Kane, is healthy. That's probably not talked about enough because, I mean, we are, 2 months away from a possible return?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been talking about it just because I feel so uncertain about it. So
sure,
I'm
there's
more
that
just
too.
talking about the current team.
Yep.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube as we can see 100 thumbs on the horizon, but we want to make sure we get there by the time the show ends at 6 o'clock, all you pleasure delayers. That would be a good name for a band, the Pleasure Delayers.
Yeah.
Or the Pleasure Delays. Or just the Delays.
Cincinnati, are you ready for the Pleasure Delayers?
Hello, Cleveland. Okay, let's do a goalie.
Oh, okay. I was wondering when you're going to dive into the goaltenders because we tiered them as well.
Stuart Skinner.
Stuart
At 7,
Skinner.
6, and 2, 882 save percentage, 1 shutout, and a 3.23 goals against average. Now, again, what we're doing is we're taking the 20 players on the Oilers roster. We're leaving out guys who have played 4 games or fewer. And we're tiering them. We're putting them in the top 5, second 5, third 5, and fourth 5. So it's not necessarily, it's not like an exact player ranking, and we're not doing A, B, C, D, or F, but it's kind of relative to expectations and relative to their contributions to the team.
Didn't the Edmonton Sun used to come out with that mid-season? Was the report card?
Oh, yeah, they would do report cards.
A-.
Yeah, like Stoff and I used to do that. I'm sure he still will do that. But yeah.
Those were okay.
Yeah.
This is just more of a general lumping. Speaking of Cole. Stuart Skinner. Reid is not doing good enough. As you mentioned, 7, 6, and 2. He's got a 882 save percentage and 3.23 goals against average. now we've also talked about this. Is this a chicken or is this an egg issue? Given that, we both had Stetcher and, you had Emerson higher, but yes, this could be compounded by a lack of defensive players on the team, but I have Stu Skinner ranked in the third tier.
So do I. I certainly considered the fourth with an 882 save percentage, but you're going to hear I have some players who I think have been more disappointing or perhaps, more underwhelming than him. And again, it's at the point where, you look at the bad games the Oilers have had this season, or you look at a bunch of bad games and you have to say, well, at least he did this. And I guess I have to say with Stuart Skinner, at least he has a shutout. At least he has, a good game against Carolina, a good game against Vancouver, a good game against the Rangers under his belt. So, on a team with some players who aren't doing what you would hope, I still say he's done more than some other players based on expectations. So I put him in the third tier on the team.
But consistency is lacking.
Yeah, as it has been for a lot of guys, for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good point. Do you want to do the other goalie or you want to hold off?
We'll hold off on Pickard. Let's jump to, let's do Pud Colson now.
Okay.
I have to put him in the third tier. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of production. He has 6 points in 22 games. He has 11 penalty minutes. He's -1. He finally got that goal. I'm hoping that there's some blossoming here. Like, if he becomes a top 6 player, that's fine. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm definitely happy to be wrong about that. But with him, I've seen some games that I thought were kind of underwhelming, and there were problems handling the puck and stuff like that. So I'll put him in the third tier.
Well, and this is an interesting player because the shine has certainly brightened on him because he's playing on that top line. But when you're talking expectations versus reality, right now, yes, I think he's overachieving a tad. And when the Oilers made this, acquisition to get him, this was not a player that they were hoping would be on their top line or second line. That was not the goal for Vasily Podkolzin. He was more of a role player, a depth player. So I also have him in the third tier.
All right, I'll skip back up to higher in the points race now. The Viking, Matthias Ekholm.
I gotta put him in the top tier. I mean, he's doing what he's doing. He's a defensive defenseman. He's chipping in with 10 points at this point, +4. But I have him as a top tier player.
I know there have been some comments. Has he lost a step? Is he getting older? Well, he is getting older. I don't know if he's lost a step. I think he has had some struggles more than we would have expected from a player of his stature and consistency. But he's made some really nice plays. I think about the overtime setup to Draisaitl in overtime. He has scored a couple of goals, both on the power play, by the way. He has more power play goals than Bouchard. So, yes, I put Ekholm in the top tier as well. We're agreeing a little more than I thought, but that could change as we move along.
Well, it probably will.
Let's go to Matthias Janmark, who, believe it or not, is tied for 4th in team scoring. He's up to a goal and 10 points in 22 games, and he's also +1 with 6 penalty minutes.
Well, with this player, this was a little bit of a tougher decision and where to slot him in. He's obviously not a top-tier player, but I didn't think his play would suggest that he's a third-tier player either. I have Matthias Janmark playing at a Tier 2 level right now.
As do I. You can't, again, we're not just doing this based on points, but you can't deny the points for a third-line player. He's got 10 and 22. He's part of a PK that has turned around. I didn't think he started the season well. I think his last probably 3-4 weeks have been quite a bit better than the first few.
You know what the icing on the cake for Janmark was? Is that he's not discussed all that much. He's not a player that's either, like a Nuge, that everybody's looking at Nuge and saying, oh, wow, he is underwhelming at this point. Matthias Janmark is actually contributing higher certainly in the goals and points than one would have thought. So, yeah, I don't know how you could put him in the third tier.
All right. That leads to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who has 2 goals and 9 points in 22 games. He does not have a power play goal. He's -1. And now the PK has turned around. He's part of it. But I'm still putting Nuge in the third tier because the expectations for him and the contribution needs to be more than, he's under half a point per game. He plays most of the time on a line with Connor McDavid. He plays on a power play that features Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. It's just not where you need Nugent Hopkins to be.
Reid, I couldn't agree more. I also placed him in the third tier. I actually considered placing him in the fourth tier, to be quite honest with you, because he is underachieving so desperately right now. But I have a player that stands out even greater than him. So Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I also have in the third tier.
All right, we'll skip back down to Adam Henrique. Adam Henrique has 2 goals and 6 points in 22 games. He has been pretty much a lock to score 20 goals in a season. When it comes to discussing perhaps a player having lost a step in the NHL, or on the Oilers, I would have that discussion more around Henrique than around Ekholm. I have always enjoyed watching Henrique play ever since he was a rookie in the National Hockey League. I just thought he's an all-around good player, kind of good at everything. I haven't seen that from him. I haven't noticed him enough nights. I actually have Adam Henrique in my fourth tier.
Do you? Okay.
Yes.
I agree with everything you said there, having lost a step, but he did have some flashes of brilliance earlier in the season with that line. I have him placed in my third tier.
Okay.
So we disagree on that one.
Easy E says, how are we defining these tiers? I don't care how well Janmark is playing. He doesn't deserve anything beyond third-line minutes. He's not a top 6 player. That's not how we're doing it, Easy E. We're doing it based on, so we have 4 tiers of 5 players each. So you have to have a top 5, a second 5, a third 5, and a fourth 5. And I often do mine based on how they're performing versus how I expect them to perform. Hey, like if Troy Stetcher had 6 points, I'd probably have him in the second tier. Adam Henrique has 6 points, I have him in the fourth because I think he should be doing more than he's doing. So by putting Janmark in the second tier, we're not saying he's a top 6 player. We're saying relative to his teammates, he's closer to expectations than a lot of them. That's how we're doing it. And you can have your own personal list, okay?
Corey Perry.
Top tier.
Top tier.
Top tier.
You went top tier.
He is doing what is expected of him.
Wow.
He has 4 goals and 22 points. He has 14 penalty minutes. He's fought. He shows leadership. He takes responsibility. He takes accountability. I'm going to say this, he plays the right way because that's another one of my overused phrases. And he is, to me, Corey Perry is doing what is expected of him. So therefore, I have to put him in the first tier relative to expectations. He's on pace for, high teens in goals. That's pretty good for a guy who plays as seldom as he does.
Corey Perry was my top player in tier 2.
Okay.
He was on the bubble for tier 1. But I had to put him in tier 2 because I think there's a 5th player in tier 1 that's more deserving.
Okay.
That is overachieving more. But you are absolutely right. If there were more Corey Perrys on this team or players that played with that tenacity, that drive, and is he the oldest player on the tean?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that says a lot. So I have Corey Perry in my second tier, which I think even being in the second tier is an overachievement for him. Would you not say? If this team's firing on all cylinders, Corey Perry would probably be a third tier player.
Yep.
You have him in the first. That's incredible.
I have Perry in the first because I think he's done what he should be doing.
And I don't really disagree with that all that much. I think there's a case for that for sure.
All right, we'll do the other goalie, Pickard, who is 4-3, 893 save percentage, 2.44 goals a game. But I think we got to finish this in 3 or 4 minutes, so I'll go quick here. I have Pickard in the second tier.
Me too.
Okay, so we agree on that one.
He's over. He's doing it. You look at the goals against, save percentage. He's playing better than Stu Skinner.
Connor Brown, 3 goals. I was hoping he could get to 20 this year. He's had some really good games. I think he, again, like a lot of guys, he's been inconsistent. But because I have some guys beneath him, I have Connor Brown in the third tier.
As do I.
Okay. Jeff Skinner.
He's
-9. He does have 4 goals. One of them was window dressing. I know he's been all over the lineup. I haven't totally agreed with the way he's been treated, but he is the green jacket leader on the team at -9. I have him in the bottom tier.
I do too. Tier 4.
Okay, couple guys left.
Hyman or Kulak? Which
Hyman's in the second tier for me. He works hard. His stats are similar to Nuge, who I put in the third tier, but I feel like Hyman has at least been more noticeable, and he has had some chances that just simply haven't gone in. And I do think with Hyman, the work ethic is always there. I'm not saying Nuge isn't there, but I've noticed Hyman more than Nugent Hopkins, even when he's had quote unquote an off night. So I have Hyman in the second tier, and again, relative to expectations, I have Brett Kulak in the first tier. Even if you take out the 4 goals, he's played pretty well, I think, most nights.
Brett Kulak was my last pick in the first tier as well.
Okay, so the top tier, I have Draisaitl, McDavid, Kulak, Perry, and Ekholm. You have
Draisaitl, McDavid, Ekholm, Bouchard, and Kulak.
Okay, second tier, I have Janmark, Bouchard, Hyman, Nurse, and Pickard.
Yep. I just have Perry in there.
So we swap Perry and Bouchard?
That's right.
Third tier, I have Podkolzin, Stewart, Skinner, Nuge, Emerson, and Connor Brown.
Yeah, I have Henrique in the third tier as where you have. I have Emerson in the fourth tier, so that's where we swap.
So we agreed on 16 of the 20. I didn't think it would be that high.
We only have 4 that we separated on.
Yeah, purely opinion, but fun opinion. And again, we need some players to be doing better. The team does.
Clearly.
Well, I mean Oil Country and the people who want them to do well.
And this isn't a shot at Brett Kulak, but if he is on both of our lists in a top tier situation, that means there's a lot of players that aren't doing their job.
Yeah. Well, and Quaddy says Perry has been good, but top tier, let's not get carried away. Look, again, that's my opinion based on what I expect from the player. And Corey Perry has been a hell of a lot closer to his expectations than a lot of other players on the team. That's why I put him there. Performance versus expectations. I think Perry has at least carried his portion of the mail.
And come up with your own list. Come up with your own tiers. Share them with us. Email them to reid@edmontonsportstalk.com. See how they differentiate. Just keep in mind, this is not correlated to lines. This is
not how we'd put them in lines or deep pairings.
This is just where the players are at this point in the season.
All right. 780-218-9999. You can participate in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up there as well. We got another great local football story coming up, and my top 3, I'm going down the horror movie rabbit hole again, sort of. It's going to be fun. But first, we got a break. And the Coob with the sports update.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
In just a minute, the Canucks shake things down with the Bruins while the hockey club meets the Canadians for the lone 2 games on the NHL slate. And the Calgary Stampeders have acquired Vernon Adams Jr. from the BC Lions in exchange for a 2nd and 4th round selection in this year's draft. and a second-round draft pick in 2026, having the Lions send over a fourth in 2025 and a 2026 third-round pick the other way to Calgary. Grady Dick will miss tomorrow's game for the Raptors when he sits out with a left calf strain that forced him to miss yesterday's game as well. And just getting underway, it's the Bulls facing the Wizards before the Bucks play the Heat, the Rockets battle the Timberwolves, the Spurs match up with the Jazz, and the Lakers hit the court with the Phoenix Suns. The new ambassador of amateur football for the Edmonton Elks, Jim Skitsko, joins us shortly. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. 5:02 is the time of day. Having some fun conversations on the in the EST inbox and in the Diabolical Dialogue on YouTube. We are almost at 100 thumbs up, so all you pleasure delayers, just get in there now and get it over with. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is how you can email the show. Somebody offered to play as me in the poker tournament tonight. That will not be happening. I will play as myself. I appreciate the offer.
Where'd that offer come from?
Came from an emailer.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, you got to shoot your shot.
Came from an emailer. Yes.
Good on you.
I can fail on my own. Thank you very much.
Oh, hey. And by the way, Matty, the coup here at EST, said tonight he's going to try.
Oh, congratulations to him.
He said last time his only reason for being there was to beat Dustin.
Did he?
He did.
Oh, he lasted longer than Dustin?
Yeah.
I believe I was the first person out of the whole, because it said I was like 56th out of 58, but I think a couple people bought back in. Yeah. So then it ranked me ahead of those people.
Which, if you go out in the first hour, you can rebuy.
May happen.
Yeah. I want to get to this one here. Justin Balgoni in the EST inbox says, how much worse does Stuart Skinner need to play to be in the fourth tier? He is statistically the second worst starter in the NHL.
Well, again, there were players, we're not rating them based on how they're doing in the league. Like, everybody understand what we're doing before you try to rip it apart, okay? I'm basing players on their expectations within the Oilers roster. I would agree Stuart Skinner's not having a great year. My argument is that I think there are 5 other Oilers who are having worse years based on what I expect of them, okay?
Couldn't have been better said, yeah.
Like, try to understand that before you try and troll me, okay, everybody? You should know better than that by
I
now.
don't think he's trying to troll you.
Yes, he is. He's trying to be a mouthy little...
So.
Yes,
no,
he is.
I don't think so.
Yes, he is.
I don't think so.
I
think this was a
how
genuine question. I think
he got a genuine response.
He certainly did. I mean, Emerson Stetcher, Derek Ryan, Victor Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner. That's my fourth tier. Have any of them outperformed Stu Skinner?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, you could say at least Skinner has a shutout and 3 or 4 other really good games.
Things.
Yes.
He's done some things well at certain times.
Yes. But it's like a lot of Oilers fans have just decided that Stuart Skinner is never going to do anything well in his life. So I get it. You've got a player you want to pick on. Congratulations. All right. On a much more positive note, we got a great story here. I am pleased to welcome a gentleman to the show who has just been named the Edmonton Elks' new ambassador to amateur football. Jim Skitsko is checking in. Jim, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
My wife and I are on vacation in Mexico, so don't feel too sorry for us.
Okay, well, I don't at all. Congratulations on being named the Elks' ambassador to amateur football. Just tell us how you're feeling about this and how it came about.
I'm just proud and happy to share Coach. I call him Coach still. Coach Morris's dream of rebuilding the fan base here, and this is just one of the ways I'm going to help out.
Jim, Jay here. First off, again, thank you for making time. I know, and the first part of that was just a little cut off, so I'll recap. But I understand you and your lovely wife Deb are currently in Mexico. So how's the weather? How's the drinks? How's the food? How's everything going down there?
Well, I don't want anybody to dislike us for telling us that we're having a great time in Mexico, but it's 27, 28 degrees every day. The surf is great. The sand is beautiful, and the beer is cold, and the mojitos are cold too. So Can't do better than that.
Oh, gosh, that sounds lovely. Yes, it's dark here, Jim, already at 5:07 in Edmonton, but enjoy your time, and thank you again for taking the time. Jim, I know you. I've known you for a long time, being that I'm born and raised in Sherwood Park, still live in that area. I know what you mean to amateur football. I want you to give our listeners an idea of your story, your profession, your legal side of things as well, and just your football journey in Edmonton and area.
Well, the story actually started in June of 1992 when the coach of my son's Pee Wee team, Kyle, who you know very well, got transferred to Calgary. And we had already had a parents' meeting, and they explained the situation, and they said if somebody doesn't step up and coach, the team is going to have to fold, and the other kids are going to get picked up by other teams in Sherwood Park. And I said, well, that doesn't sound like too much fun. I'll step up, but I don't know anything about it. And they said, don't worry, we'll help you. And so along with my assistant coaches, Perry Marriott and Glenn, do you remember Glenn's last name, Deb? I stepped up, and the next thing you know, it's November of 1995, and the Sherwood Park Rams didn't have a coaching candidate to take over the team. And I said I would do it because A, they're green and gold, and I bleed green and gold, and secondly, it was a chance to really help out minor football, and that's how I got started. And then I met wonderful people. By this time, I think Deb and I just got married in September of 1996. So I had my partner for life there with me, beside me. And then a few years later, I met Dwayne Mandrusiak from the then Eskimos, who couldn't do enough for me and other people in minor football. And I went, holy mackerel, this is amazing. This football community is totally supportive. And then that year in 1996, we ended up in the city championship game, losing to the perennial champs, the Chargers. And then the following year, we won a championship in my second year as head coach. And I went, well, this is easy. I kind of like this. And there you go. That was it. 28 years later, after coaching minor football, I packed it in and I never really looked back. It was a great experience.
Well, I certainly know firsthand just how many young athletes were guided under your supervision, and I just want to say thank you for your time, for your selflessness in giving that. I've dabbled in that coaching and helping running organizations, football teams, and it's a lot of work. And kudos to Deb. Your wife, she's probably missed. She doesn't get to see you as much as she's seeing you right now in Mexico. So, Deb, don't get too used to it. I'll say that because you've got a new job, Jim. You've been named the Elks Ambassador of Amateur Football. What does that mean? What does that role entail?
Well, first of all, we're going to have to figure out exactly how we're going to develop the relationship with amateur football. And honestly, Jay, it's going to be one-on-one stuff with the head coaches of the teams, the athletic directors of the high schools, the head coaches of the minor football teams in the Capital District Minor Football Association. There's going to be many phone calls, many one-on-ones, many meetings with coaches, players, and just bring to them an awareness that we're a family. Football has always been a family. Anybody who's ever played it knows that, we want to knock the snot out of each other on Saturdays, but on Sunday and Monday, we're back at high school or junior high school and we're friends again. And we totally respect each other and we've never lost respect for the game. I think that there have been rough times here. Some, I think meaningful but misguided people were here for a while. The ship kind of got misguided and is pointed in the right direction, but I can tell you with Coach Morris and with Ed Hervey, the right people will be hired. My job is simply to open doors to the minor organizations and make them fully aware of what a good product we are going to put on the field over the next several years. And that means we got to put some bums in the stands. We got to get people there back to the old way, which is cheering on our football team and learning to win again. And anybody who's ever coached football knows you have to learn how to win. And these guys are close.
So with this strategy, I mean, is it going out and because I know when Chris was hired at the Golden Bears, he went out to every Adam football, Pee Wee football, all levels of football, and tried to get the Gooba in their hands, something that they could say, oh, this is the Golden Bear, this is the great University Bear of Alberta, this is the University of Alberta, this is where I want to go and play football. Now, 99.999% of the kids that are in minor football in Edmonton and area aren't going to have the chance to play pro football. So are you just trying to now get a positive association, a positive relationship reformed between the younger athletes and the Edmonton Elks organization?
Well, there's been a generation of kids that are basically detached from many sports, almost all sports. And it's sad to say, but I saw it when I was head coaching junior high kids. There's a quicker, more immediate entertainment in the basement in front of a computer console. And what a shame to say goodbye to so many friendships and say hello to a dumb old computer console. It just doesn't work. So yeah, we have to reintroduce kids to personal sports and personal games, and football is one of them. So that's the idea.
Jim, I read here again. I got to ask you a question. Can you tell me about your relationship or with coaching Chuba Hubbard? Do you not have a history with him?
Well, actually, I really appreciate you bringing up Chuba, but there's at least 3 other kids over the years that we coached that are now Canadian pro football players. Josiah Shackle. David Beard was the first kid I ever coached. The first time he ever put on pads was with us in the Rams locker room. I still remember I had to bring him the pads and show him, and he put them on, and he's still playing. So Chuba was the last kid that developed into a tremendous athlete in 2012 and 2013. He was introduced to our team by his 2 Pee Wee coaches who ended up coaching with us. Byron Benson, who discovered him playing with his kids and saw this kid was a heck of a player. So he said, "Hey, Chuba, have you ever thought of playing football?" So the kid thought, "Well, this is a great idea. I don't know if my mother's going to go for it." So he went and talked to his mom, Candace, and kudos to Byron. Byron sealed the deal with his mom, Candace, and he came out and played 2 years of Pee Wee football, and he was hooked. And then he came to us, and then he went to high school, and then he went to Oklahoma State. And by that time, he was on his own journey. There's nothing else you can teach a kid. I mean, how do you teach a kid to run a 4.35 40? I mean, that ain't coaching, buddy. I'll tell you that. So, and the last guy we got to coach at an all-star level was Jake Taylor. So Jake and Josiah are now with the Elks. Good, strong Canadians, and anybody who knows Chris Morris knows that he's going to lift every rock. He's going to walk into every practice and find good Canadian kids who want to play football. And again, that's all part of it.
That's awesome. Well, Jim, it's awesome that you've joined the Elks as their ambassador to amateur football. Jay spoke very highly of you over the last 24 hours or so since we found out you got this role. So we're thrilled to have you on the show. Enjoy the rest of your time in Mexico and all the rest in your new role with the Elks. Well deserved, sir.
Well, thanks, fellas. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to the people out there, the fans out there. The Elks are coming back. That's all I can say.
Right on. Yeah, we all hope that. Jim Skitsko, Elks ambassador of amateur football. So you've known him how long?
I mean, he said he started coaching in the early 90s. I started playing in the early 90s.
Right. So
and that name has been synonymous. Like he said, I played against his son, Kyle. When he was with the Huskies, I was with the Cats. And then I went to the Bears. He went to the Thunderbirds.
So he'd be known by almost anybody who's done something amateur.
Next time you see
related.
Jed Roberts, ask him about Jim Skitsko.
Well, I think we're going to see Jed tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that.
That's awesome.
Because he's
this is a total Chris Morris thing. We got to reconnect. Reconnect.
This is how you reconnect. This guy has a Rolodex like you wouldn't believe in amateur football ranks. He will get people out. I guarantee you, Chris will have seats for those kids at Elks games. Come join us on us. Just bring your team, wear your jersey, and you're in.
Okay.
That's something that is very simple. Yes, you're giving away tickets, but at the end of the day, you're trying to build up this team, this community again through the Elks. So I can't say enough about that hire. I think it's great.
Okay. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff from the Nasties. We are over 100 thumbs up on YouTube. Oh, my goodness, there's the sound effect. Thanks for reminding me, Jay. I got to pull out this piece of paper for the EST Flyaway to LA presented by the 780, a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online, 780.com, or at any of 5 locations, Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. 780.com, the word 7, the numbers 80 for the website. So you text in this keyword to 780-218-9999. You're trying to qualify for a trip for 2 to LA with hotel and rental car. You see the Clippers play the Warriors. You'll see the Rams play the Cardinals, and you'll see an NHL game featuring your beloved Edmonton squad as well. This is coming up December 26th through the 30th. We're giving away the trip on Friday on the morning show, on the Nielsen Show. The keyword today is Ducks. The keyword today is Ducks. 780-218-9999. We got my top 3 and more feedback from you when we get back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Two games are underway right now in the NHL with the Canucks going at it with the Bruins and the Utah HC up against the Canadiens. Both of those games are scoreless midway through the first period, and those two being the only games on tap tonight. The Calgary Stampeders have acquired Vernon Adams Jr. from the BC Lions in exchange for a second and fourth round selection in this year's draft, as well as a second round draft pick in 2026, having the Lions sending a 2025 fourth rounder and a 2026 third round selection the other way to Calgary. And basketball has Grady Dick of the Raptors being ruled out for tomorrow's action against the Pelicans with a left calf strain after missing yesterday's game as well. In the NBA right now, it's the Wizards up 16-10 over the Bulls. Later, we see the Bucks against the Heat, the Rockets tipping off with the Timberwolves, the Spurs meeting with the Jazz, and the Lakers up against the Suns with 5 games around the association tonight. Just after the break, Reid and Jay return with the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Thank you, Zach. Much appreciated. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Thanks for checking out the show. Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. NFL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse with Thursday Night Football and your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Budweiser. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. All right, Oilers with a practice today, off tomorrow, and scheduled to practice and fly on Thursday, playing at the Utah Hockey Club, first time ever, for Friday, and then in Denver to play Colorado on Saturday. Again, neither Hyman nor Arvidsson expected to play in those games. We will get to my top three in a second. Do we have a qualifier, Kubo?
Yes, we do. I believe it's Cody, if I'm not mistaken.
Cody, what's going on? It's Reid and Jay.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Good. Congratulations on qualifying for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. How's your day been?
It's been a good day.
All right. Inside or outside?
Headed home from work.
What's
Pardon
that?
Me?
You're just getting home from work?
I'm just heading home from work.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to the show. You ever been to Los Angeles before?
I have, yeah. I was there a few years ago for a wedding.
Oh, for a wedding. I assume probably a celebrity's wedding, somebody in Hollywood?
No, it was actually a good friend of mine. He went down to Vegas with his then girlfriend and proposed to her in Vegas. And then they drove over to LA or to California, and we all met them over there, family and friends, and they got married down there.
Okay, I think Jay has a question for you.
Well, what? So were you in Vegas with him, or was this spontaneous? And he said, "Hey, me and so-and-so are on our way to Vegas or on our way to LA. Can you come meet us and be a part of our wedding?"
No, he set this all up, and she didn't know about it until they got to Vegas, and she kind of smelled something was up, and then he spilled the beans, but he had already set it up with family and friends that we all were meeting them down at the destination, and then having the wedding there and coming back.
Well, Cody, you are officially qualified. What do we got here, Reid? We've got 5 a day or 4 a day, so that's only 8 chances left to qualify.
Yep.
After tonight's show. So you are one of the qualifiers. Make sure you are listening this Friday during the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric from 6 to 9. Don't know when they're going to make the call, but if that phone is not answered, they will move along. So be sure to be by your phone. And congratulations, Cody.
Thanks very much, gentlemen.
All right, Cody qualifies for the EST Flyaway to LA presented by the 780. We've had a good show today. We've gone over our tier rankings of Oilers players so far this season. We have touched on, well, we didn't touch the off-topic. We didn't touch the topic of the off-topic topic.
Oh, lots of people did.
That was a stinkeroo left behind in the bathroom here that's been causing a foul scent in the building. But the off-topic topic for William Huff was most disgusting, or what was the words I use? Most
uncomfortable
or disgusting incident at your workplace. Do we have anything else you want to get to, or have we? Have we flushed this topic?
Well, Dudley has his own thoughts on who left that in the bathroom. He says he puts his money on YTT leaving the present after a month-long hiatus from Donaires. I'm thinking maybe his stomach didn't agree with his Donaire he ate last night, and the present was the end result. Rob from the Grove said, here's my uncomfortable workplace incident. Years ago, I worked with a guy who had horrible BO. Working as a mechanic, you sometimes need certain tasks and could never ask him for help. Then last year, he got hired at my current workplace. He still stinks of BO.
Oh, no.
That's terrible.
What do you do?
That is disabling.
Yeah.
That can clear a room out. Reid, we did have some texts come in. I think a lot of, one came in earlier, okay?
Okay.
When we were talking about the December schedule with Damon Bunting from Damon Bunting Real Estate, he said, I think the Oilers have a favorable schedule between now and the end of December. Definitely a chance to finally bank some points. They just need Arvidsson and Hyman healthy and maybe Pod to keep scoring. That comes in from Ricardo.
Yeah, I mean, they got Vegas twice. They got Columbus coming up, who did beat them earlier in the season. Florida's going to come in on a prime night on Monday on the 16th. That'll be tough. There's no easy games, but the Blues are not having a great season. The Lightning aren't who they used to be. You do play Anaheim on the 29th. You got Ottawa coming in, who you already beat fairly soundly. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I'm not counting on a 16-game winning streak, but if you can go 4 games over 500 in a month, keep doing that. You'll bank some points.
This one comes in as well related to the Oilers, and there's a couple Elks ones as well. Our friend Laserface Larry being one of them. This one comes in from Callum, though. Leon Draisaitl is the only player who has played at his potential all season so far. McDavid is close, and I guess Kulak has been a nice surprise, but we all know the offense from him won't last.
Well, I think Draisaitl's been very good. They started 0-3, and maybe nobody was that great. But I think probably since Game 4, Leon would be the team MVP. And his stats back it up. Like we've talked about, Kulak's having a very good season, especially relative to expectations. McDavid's starting to look a little more energized the last few games.
I mean, that Rangers game was a highlight reel awesome for Connor McDavid. This comes in. I hope the Elks give Ford the keys to the offense for an entire season. If he fails, it would suck to miss the playoffs again, but at least we know that Trey Ford can't do it as a number one. That comes from Lewis in Lewis Estates.
Oh, nice. Nice to be named after your neighborhood. They're not going... If Trey Ford starts the season as the quarterback, we're really going down what-if alley here.
Yes.
But I think if Trey Ford starts the season as the quarterback, I don't think it means he's going to get the entire season to prove himself if he's not playing well. I think there's always going to be competition at that position, and I think it's important to have competition at that position. But I think if Trey Ford plays, decent, then yes, you have to keep putting him out there and challenging him and seeing how he does. I don't think you can get halfway through a season, maybe if he's doing poorly, and keep rolling him out there. I don't think that's fair to anybody.
Interesting question here comes in from Penner's Pancakes, and I'll just give this one to you on the fly. Do you think Leon is going to break his own personal season goal record, which from what I
55?
can see, it is 55 in 2021-22.
Yes, I think he's going to score 60. I'll be optimistic and say he gets to 60.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's got a 50, he's got a 55, and a 52. Yeah, I'm going to say he does. I'm going to say he gets to 60 this year.
I like optimistic.
Yeah, well, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
This one, good to see genius GM Ed Hervey was ready to pounce on Vernon Adams. I think he says this in jest. Maybe he can sign Kerwin Bell to mentor Trey Ford. That comes in from our good friend Laserface Larry.
All right. Well, whose comments will speak for themselves.
You got to,
and it will be left unresponded to.
You got to give credit.
You got to love his
due.
commitment.
Kerwin Bell. That's been a minute.
Kerwin Bell. Careful where you spike the ball.
Kerwin. Spiky pants. That was still one of the all-time greatest clips.
Chaos Jester says Daniel Jones is available. Probably not going to wind up in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, look
but
how much.
He's totally let go by the Giants, eh?
Wow, they put him on waivers. Nobody claimed him because of his contract. Nobody's going to take that. But he's out. He's done.
So he'll be on the Giants roster and just a observer.
No, he's off the roster. He's not a part of the Giants organization.
Oh, they released. Oh, so they waived him and then released him. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Okay.
Got themselves out of quite a bit of money.
So they were hoping somebody would take him.
Yeah. That's why you get guaranteed money in your contract.
Wasn't he drafted
kids.
Fairly high?
Yeah. I think he was. He was out of Duke, right?
I can't remember.
Daniel
Only
Jones.
take basketball players out of Duke. Christian Laettner? Sure.
Yeah, he was at
Bobby
Duke
Hurley?
University.
Sure. Where was he drafted? How high was he drafted? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I'm going to use the old Goog. He was drafted by the New York Giants in the first round with the 6th overall pick.
Quite high. Okay.
Crazy.
I doubt he winds up in the CFL.
No. He's got enough money. He signed a 4-year, $160 million contract with the Giants. Now, this was, but there was, including $160 million contract, $36 million signing bonus, $92 million guaranteed. So he's off to Cabo San Lucas, my friend. He's going to go down.
Never has to play football again.
Jim
if he
Skitsko down in
want
Mexico. Yeah, he ain't. Yeah, he's done.
That is amazing. All right, 780-218-9999 into the nasty chat on YouTube. And thank you for getting us over.
I don't think we have enough time to do your top 3 right now. I think we should either get to an early break and do them after.
Why don't we start it? Let's start it.
Okay.
I feel like starting it.
Okay, sure.
We might as well start it.
We really need to let these marinate because, as you know, our listeners.
Well, people are going to jump in, but I almost impaled my.
Are you okay?
I almost stabbed my pan entirely through my hand.
And that's your mouse
I wonder
hand.
if that would have been painful.
You need that for poker tonight.
Oh my God! You're so excited about me playing poker.
I just hope we're at the same table.
So I noticed yesterday a couple people said, I like when Reid does a movie top 3.
Yes.
And it's something I tend to be passionate about and like the trivia involving it. So I'm going to do another one today. My top 3 for Food sausage, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store at 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering online code EST or mention EST in the store. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sauces says, you can't beat our meat. So yesterday we had the top 3 movie beasts of all time, my top 3. Today I'm going to have, this is very specific, but it's going to be very fun. And the reason I think this is going to be fun, because if anybody has heard of or seen these movies, it's going to be an incredible bonding moment for me and some of the nasties. My top 3 cheesy/terrible horror movies my buddy and I rented just for the purpose of mocking them. So this is a buddy and I, we used to work at Blockbuster together, and you would get all these, of course you'd get all the big Hollywood releases, but you'd get all these other movies that you would not even think would be made. And a lot of them would sit on the shelf and never be rented, or would rarely be rented, and we would find out about them and think, wow, that sounds terrible. So we want to watch it and just see how bad it actually is.
What do you think the odds are of me ever have seen any of these?
0. You won't have seen any of these?
Yeah.
I don't. Some of the nasties might have seen them. I don't know if they remember them. And I think a couple of them, because I was double-checking the years here, I think a couple of them are ones that my buddy and I rented while we were working together at Blockbuster, and then I think a couple others we rented while I was in Lloyd, and I was, had been visiting for a weekend, and we got together and grabbed one of these movies, or we would buy them for each other if we ever saw them on sale. Okay?
Okay.
So top 3 cheesy/terrible horror movies my buddy and I watched for the sole purpose of mocking them. Number 1 is a movie simply called Werewolf. And it is terrible, okay? It is about people becoming werewolves. The cover had one of those, what's it called? Like when you look at it from a different angle, so it looked like there was a hologram, and then when you moved your head or moved the cover box, he changed into a werewolf.
Was this a Canadian movie?
I don't know. What year does it say?
2016?
No, it's like mid to late 90s. Mid to late 90s.
It's bad when it doesn't even show up on the Google. Oh, boy. The 20 essential werewolf movies. Let's see if it shows up on this list.
It should not be. It's just called Werewolf.
It is Rotten Tomatoes.
It's terrible. So it's about these people, and they're looking for some sort of artifact or something, and they find it, or they find some bones, and it like one guy gets scraped by it, and he starts transforming, and there's this horrible transformation scene where he's driving a car. Okay, so you see him driving a car. The camera's mounted on the hood. And he's all nervous, and he's peeking up at the sky, and then it cuts to the full moon. And it cuts back to him, and there's a little bit of hair on his wrist, and he's peeking up at the moon. And then he looks up at the sky again and sees the moon. Oh, no, there's some hair up on his arms. So they didn't have, obviously, the effects to do an actual transformation, so they had to do these cutaways. And then as he's driving, he becomes a werewolf behind the wheel, and then he crashes into a stationary parked truck full of gasoline barrels and blows up.
Yes.
Like, it's just in the middle of nowhere. It's utterly terrible. The movie makes no sense. It was so bad it almost wasn't funny. Like, some horror movies are like so bad they're funny, or they're intentionally cheesy and funny, which I like. This one, I think, thought it was being quite dramatic and serious and telling some sort of a tale about the plight of the human existence. It's simply called Werewolf. It was bad. It lived down to the expectations. I can't remember who was in it.
I still can't find it. Were you a big American Werewolf in London?
I think this is it here. Werewolf, 1996. Yeah, archaeologists working in the Arizona desert find a skeleton that appears to be a werewolf. Yeah, and then it has this twist ending that doesn't make sense. Yeah, because then, like, there's a guy and a woman, and then at the end, the woman is also a werewolf, and they're in love. Like, it just makes no sense at all. It's also known as Arizona Werewolf. So for people who want to know about this, Werewolf, also known as Arizona Werewolf, directed by Tony Zarandast, and it stars Jorge Rivero. And it's bad. It's really bad. Like, I don't know if you can sit through it, but we watched it and rented it, and it was bad.
The Chaos Jester, Werewolf, 1995, director Tony Zarandast.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if he knows this film. Yeah. It's bad, buddy.
Werewolf.
Jared says, I just went to Heretic and thought it stunk worse than the EST bathroom. That's incredible. Heretic is the new one with, what's the guy's name? I can see him. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Grant. What's his name? Paul Grant. Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant, I believe, is in Heretic. Okay, well, we got a bad review for that one. I'll give you some other movies. I want to hear yours. Horror movies you watch just to mock. 780-218-9999. We got the Coob with a sports update.
Just 2 games in the NHL with the Canadiens battling the Utah HC and the Canucks hitting the ice with the Bruins. Both matchups are scoreless, nearing the end of the first. And in the CFL, Vernon Adams Jr. is now a Stampeder. The Stamps traded 3 picks, including this year's 2nd and 4th rounders, as well as a 2nd-round pick in 2026 for Adams, while the Lions sent over a 2025 4th-round pick and a 2026 3rd-round selection to Calgary. And after not playing yesterday, Grady Dick will miss another game tomorrow for the Raptors with a left calf strain when Toronto plays the Pelicans. Right now, it's the Wizards leading the Bulls 29-21 at the end of the first quarter. And in just a moment, it's the Bucks and Heat with 5 games around the association. Reid continues his top 3 just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're in the loop.
Black Friday at FXR Edmonton is the place to shop for the best deals of the year.
Whether you're looking for snowmobile apparel, riding gear, workwear, or a new jacket for looking stylish around town,
FXR Edmonton is the place to be. Door crasher deals up to 80% off, and the entire store is on sale, so don't miss out.
The best deals of the year. Black Friday at FXR Edmonton, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Come see us at 324 Mayfield Common.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
All right, taking you home on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. The studio presented by James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today.
Well, we've got some commentary in the EST inbox here on this Reid's top 3 cheesy, scary movies. Corey B., I watched Late Night with the Devil on your recommendation.
That's a
Reid,
good movie.
And I absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
I love me a good / original horror story like Barbarian.
I have not seen Barbarian. I'd like to. I've heard that's quite...
Well, he's recommending it for you.
Okay.
So there you go. It's a two-way street around here. Rip City Step says, The Toxic Avenger.
I never saw The Toxic Avenger. I know of it.
And this one comes in from an unnamed source. You had to have seen The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I have, yes. I have seen Attack of the Killer Tomatoes a long, long time ago. I guess that would be one that could easily go on this list. A movie you would rent just to mock. So Werewolf from 95 or 96 is up there. That was probably the sound effect they used.
Yeah. Probably better than the sound effect they used.
This other one I don't remember entirely, but I got to bring up this one scene. It was called Jack Frost. Not the Michael Keaton movie. There was a horror movie, B movie called Jack Frost. And I believe the premise was that somehow a serial killer got executed and reincarnated as a snowman. Like somehow his life force got put into the snow. And then as the snowman, he continued his killing. So the one scene I remember is, so he gets milted or something like that. And... there's a woman in the tub, okay? And she's having a quiet bath. And then it shows in the tub there's snowman stuff floating in the tub, such as a carrot.
Right.
So then he reforms as a snowman with the carrot nose in the tub. And this is one of his victims.
Did what year would this version?
Late 90s, mid to late 90s.
Like this one?
That is Jack Frost, baby.
That's it, eh?
That's the killer snowman.
I see the part where he reforms.
Yes. Jack Frost.
Bit of the plot here. On a snowy December night, a state execution transfer vehicle crosses into the quiet backwater town of Snowmonton.
I don't remember that.
Snowmonton.
Like you can smell the cheese coming off.
Like
from here.
Edmonton, but Snowmonton.
Right.
Inside is serial killer Jack Frost, who eluded police for years and left a trail of 38 bodies across 11 states. before finally being arrested by Sam Tiller, the sheriff of Snowmonton. Wow. Yeah, so he truck crashes. He dissolves and fuses with the snow.
Yes, that's what happens. Okay, so that's what happened. What a plot. That is incredible. Why do we have the Teddy Bear Toss School playing? Okay, a little bit of audio on Jack Frost. There he is.
Cool.
Very awful film, but with a memorable scene. So,
wow, Chaos Gesture is in lockstep here.
What did he say?
This is incredible. Jack Frost, 1997. He's chilling and killing.
Oh, was that the tagline for the film?
Must be. That's incredible.
That's awesome. So apparently Barbarian is quite good. I'm glad. Who watched, Corey B. watched Late Night with the Devil?
Yes.
It is good. And I have to admit, when I was watching it, it was tense. I didn't feel it was overly scary, but then it stuck with me for a couple days when you're sitting around. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Is somebody here?
Right.
Is the devil going to come get me now?
You should watch Barbarian tonight. Oh, wait.
Wait, I'm busy because I'm in the poker tournament where I'm going to reach new heights in my poker career. Top 3 cheesy / terrible horror movies my buddy and I rented or watched just to mock. I talked about Anaconda yesterday, but that's actually a decent movie, and it was a mainstream Hollywood release. I'm kind of talking about B movies, And after Anaconda, there were a lot of movies that came out straight to video, B movies, that had killer serpents or lizards in them. And my friend and I figured there must have been this computer, the CGI at the time, the computer-generated imagery. It must have been easy to make snakes. So there was one movie that's simply called Boa versus Python. And it's like a giant boa and a giant python, and they wind up fighting. And there's in other scenes with them, okay?
Do they talk?
They don't talk. No, they just are big and fight.
Boa versus Python.
Boa versus Python. 2004. Yeah, so that was after Blockbuster.
Science fiction horror film.
I believe it featured Playboy Playmate Angel Boris, who had quite a revealing role, of course, given her history.
It did.
And then another movie I would say on here, I don't remember it as much, but it's from sort of the lizard genre. It was called Komodo, and it's about a killer Komodo dragon, and it features Edmonton-born actress and Law & Order alum Jill Hennessy. And it was called Komodo, and it was quite bad as well. I don't even know if that one would be worth watching even for fun. So I gave you 4 movies. Jill Hennessy was the star of that one.
After witnessing his parents being killed by creatures on an island as a child, a young man is brought back to the island a few years later by his psychiatrist, only to be terrorized by the same creatures. Well, I got news for you,
Komodo.
buddy. That's not a good psychiatrist.
Yeah, let's go back to the island of the Komodos. And it says on Wikipedia, Komodo received rather poor critical response. I would agree with that. Jared in the Nasty Chat, isn't there a store on White that still sells these B-level horrors? At some point, we will have the owner of that store.
Which store?
On this show. It's
the one
called
in the
The
basement?
Lobby. The Lobby.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about this. Did you meet Kevin?
No.
No, but I saw Kevin's movie, The Last Video Store,
That's right.
at the Garneau. It's called The Lobby. It is underground. It's subterranean. I'm making it sound like you got to be the mole man to get there or something. Yes, it's downstairs from White Ave between 108 and 109 on the south side. It's called The Lobby. Kevin Martin is the owner, not the curler. He's got the same name. And yeah, he has a ton of movies down there. He's got like a coffin-shaped coffee table. There's a room with all VHS stuff. But yeah, that is the Lobby.
Sounds lovely.
Norman at Combine says, speaking of revealing, who has watched Landman? Is that new one with Billy Bob and John Hamm?
Yes.
I have not watched. Is Landman out already?
I think it is on the Yellowstone. On, what do they call it? Paramount?
Well, 3 episodes. Just 3 episodes are out, according to Pender's
Okay,
Pancakes.
that's good. Maybe we'll watch that because I've heard very good things about it.
Pender's Pancakes B movies usually guaranteed boob scenes. Well, a lot of horror movies in general, I think.
Speaking of Pender's Pancakes, I don't see you registered in the.
How do you know
tournament.
who's registered? Why don't you stay out of his account?
I'm not in his account.
You were in mine.
I'm looking. You asked me to be in you.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. There's a goof up right there.
Offer accepted.
That's the goof up. Edmonton Sports Toilet 2024. Don't drop the deuce. It's from the Chaos Gestures. Quite active and quite clever today.
Very. Gotta love that.
So I enjoy doing the movie lists. That'll be something that's themed along the way. All right. What else do we have?
Well,
do you want to do our tiers again and get people mad?
Yeah. Let's fire them up. I just wanted to remind people that from now until Christmas, the 6 o'clocker lager 4-packs for Alley Cat Brewing and Edmonton Sports Talk are on sale at the discounted price of $12.99 for the 4-pack from now until Christmas. So please, if you want to stock up, now is the time. I went to my local Sobeys liquor store, and there was a few pallets, or a few, what would you call that? A
flat?
Flats.
Yeah.
A few flats left.
That's a good beer.
So it's a crushable.
We have some in the office here.
Very good beer. Yes, I might have one during the poker tournament tonight.
Oh my goodness!
I might crush a 6 o'clocker lager when I crush your hopes and dreams.
Well, my hopes and dreams for the poker tournament are quite low.
Now, what's going to happen is you're going to come over the top and beat me.
I'll get impatient and I'll go all in on a pair of sixes. I just can't see myself playing online poker for hours on end. I'll be thinking about other things I could be doing. That's my problem. Why can't it just be over in an hour?
It's a tournament.
Right, but it's not where we're there. It's you have to sit at your computer, man. I want real life, man. I want to experience feelings, man.
This is not for you then. I think you're going to have a better experience tonight.
Well, I'm just going to fold every hand.
Well, but
watch
then,
me get like 3 pocket aces first hand.
Yes, something like that will happen. Something to be discussed at a future time, but something you can think about is that February 15th of 2025, Matty is taking upon himself to put together an EST curling bonspiel.
Or we're allowed to announce it?
If not, I just did.
Well, we have no other details about it.
Forgive me.
That's great.
No, he said it's gonna happen. So we're gonna put together a curling tournament with all you nasties.
Bonspiel.
A bonspiel. But the name.
Oh, we need a name.
Yeah. So maybe that's something we can get into. Well, tomorrow I want to get in and have some predictions for the Thursday football games, because there's going to be football games going on all day on U.S.
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah. Thank
here.
God we have a TV in here to watch. Not.
Hashtag TV for Reid. If you are listening, please tweet at Dustin Nielsen or Yeg Sports Talk. Hashtag TV for Reid.
Well, it's a TV for all, I think. I think I'm representing the needs of the office. Because as Spock once said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
Or the one.
Remember that? No?
No.
And search for Spock. No, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Wrath of Khan. He died in Wrath of Khan. That's what he said.
Joel says the more you partake, the more you'll understand, Reid.
No, fair enough. But I think I understand how it works. I just don't know if I want to partake. I don't know. Night of the Lepus, 1972. Giant mutant rabbits terrorized the United States Southwest. That's another movie for somebody. That's a great idea.
Norman the Combine crew is in.
For what? Watching Landman or curling?
The Bonspiel.
How many people in the Combine crew again?
Well, there's Norm, his 3 sons, and Sticky Rice. So 5.
So they got a spare. They got their sub.
First annual inaugural EST Nasty Bonspiel.
First annual inaugural. I like that. What started as an annual tradition soon became a yearly custom.
Cole and Ellerslie put a team together. You can. He said, "Someone draft me." Former Nate Ook. He skipped.
Oh wow, yeah.
Put a team.
That's who we want. That's who we want for sure.
Maybe we should get him.
Do you
on our
curl
team.
a lot? I haven't curled since in Lloyd. I think I did a couple bonspiels. Quite
no,
poorly.
I'd love to.
It's very hard. It's not hard to throw the rock down the ice. It's hard to do it with any accuracy or proper weight.
Yes.
It makes you appreciate it even more how those guys will hold the broom.
Incredible.
Give me another inch or we'll move it a quarter inch. Yeah. Like, seriously? That's how much a difference is that going to make?
Just
For me,
amazing.
it's like, which half do you want it on? Okay, I'll try to get it in that side of the ice.
Hey, here's what we'll do.
What?
Me and you and I, we'll put in a team. We'll go out and get Mark Kennedy. We'll get Cole and Ellerslie.
Well, would Kennedy play with us? He'd have to skip.
Of course he would.
He's probably busy around that time in February, though. It's heating up there.
We'll give him an offer he can't refuse.
Oh, yeah. No prize money as compared to what he can win on the World Curling Tour. Oh, we got a limerick in from Josh to my email. With Reid and Jay, the talk's always prime. On Oilers and Elks, they do chime. From goals to touchdowns and Lego breakdowns, they build sports magic every time. That is quite well done. Good cadence, good length, good rhyming. Well done by Josh.
Very good. Commissioner Quinn is in the nasty chat. The commish better have a spot for a team. She said, I play every Saturday at the Shamrock.
Hey, Quinn, how's it going? Look, I'm waving specifically to you if you're on YouTube.
Not specifically to her.
No, that wave was specifically for her. Now here's another one for everybody else. All right. I guess I will interact with some of you somewhat tonight in the poker tournament that I've been
dreading.
Arm twisted into playing.
Nobody's twisting your arm. Dreading.
Is Quinn in the poker tournament?
I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, she says, hi, Reid. I'm waving back.
Of course she's waving back. Quinn and I go way back. We used to golf together quite regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was with me for the front 9 of my best round ever.
Was she now?
Then she had to leave to go to work, and I played the last 9 by myself. Yeah. So no one there to verify my score. But I shot better on the front 9 than I did on the back.
Figure.
All right. This was a fun show. Thanks for bearing with us. Back to war. Is Jed Roberts coming in?
Yes.
Jed Roberts in studio. On behalf of the Coob and the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Take care.
Get to know the winners. Props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.